not far from the Children's Museum. IMPD Captain John Arvin says two people were near each other when it happened.
They heard some shots, and all of a sudden they were shot.
After that, another car showed up at the scene with two gunshot victims inside. They were shot somewhere else nearby. All four people are expected to be all right. There was a fatal crash in Boone County yesterday afternoon. Here's Wes Woodward.
Around 1 p.m. Monday, the Boone County Sheriff's Office responded to an accident involving a dump truck and a pickup on State Road 47 East. A white 2008 Chevy Silverado driven by Kyle Smith, 34, of Kirkland, Indiana, was heavily damaged, along with an overturned dump truck driven by 61-year-old Scott Pickett of Lafayette. Smith died at the scene while Pickett was transported to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The incident is still under investigation by the Boone County Fatal Alcohol Crash Team. Wes Woodward, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
September is National Voter Registration Month, making it a good time to register or update your voter status before October 7th. That's your deadline. IndianaVoters.com is where you can handle all of that digitally, or if you want to do so in person, just find your county clerk's office. Traffic and weather in 1 minute. It's 3:04.
At Shane Company, we'll help you design an engagement ring as unique as your love story. We have the widest selection of diamonds and gemstones for you to choose from, and you can compare them side by side right here in our store. Only at Shane Company can you sift through exquisite diamonds, rubies, and a rainbow of sapphires in a variety of shapes and sizes. We'll help you create your dream engagement ring no matter your price range. Choose the ring setting that speaks to your style, from classic to modern to vintage. We offer so many ways to personalize your ring. Pick your favorite center stone, add a decorative crown and a custom engraving, or select a perfectly preset ring that's ready to go. At Shane Company, our jewelers know how much your ring means to you. They hand-set each center stone with precision and pride in our jeweler's workshop, so you can feel confident knowing your ring is crafted with the greatest care and comes with an unmatched free lifetime warranty that lets you know we'll always be here for you. Your love story deserves to shine bright. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, looking at the west side, southbound 465, stop traffic before West 46th Street down to Crawfordsville Road. That is a construction zone, blocking 4 right lanes, and that should be done tomorrow morning early before morning rush hour. Looking at southbound 65 south side and before Raymond Street, we have 2 left lanes blocked. That's because they're cleaning up debris. I also see a semi on the left shoulder, so traffic is stopped back to the north split and onto westbound 72 Rural Street. Inbound 65 slows 21st to the north split. Crash west side Girls School Road at Crawfordsville Road. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop Grand Appliance for expert advice. Thousands of in-stock appliance options, fast delivery, and professional installation. Learn more at grandappliance.com or your local Grand Appliance showroom. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies expected for the day today. It is going to be a toasty Tuesday with high temperatures near 86. Mostly clear tonight, lows will fall to 61. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
When you get there, people approach your car, smash your windows out with baseball bats, throw flames and gas cans and oil at you.
That's IMPD Chief Chris Bailey talking about what his officers see when they show up and try to stop these, quote, street takeovers in Indy Hammer. And I say screw them. People are acting like that, and do whatever you have to do to protect yourself, and then get them in handcuffs. And start destroying cars. Start ramming. I mean, it's probably going to cost the taxpayers some money, but, ram an IMPD car and take out one of these lame Dodge Chargers that are doing these spin-outs on public streets at 3 o'clock in the morning. Lay out some spike strips. Start taking off their wheels.
I'm with you on all of that, 100%. But do you really think Ryan Mears, as the prosecutor, is going to throw the book at these people when he lets way worse things off the hook? Violent repeat offenders, they walk among us in the streets of Indianapolis because Ryan Mears is a wussy at his job or something that rhymes with it. So do you really think they're going to throw the Fast and the Furious gang in the lockup? No, they should, but it's not going to happen.
You don't know what these street takeovers are. It's just these gathering of, like, I don't know, thrill seekers, lunatics, and they engage in reckless and dangerous driving out on public roads and mall parking lots. And then when the police show up, like Chief Bailey just said right there, there's more violence towards the police. Now, they did arrest 7 people the last time we were talking about this over the weekend.
But now we're at the point where these hoodlums, these criminals, whatever you want to call them, they're laughing and taunting the police because they know nothing is going to happen to them. Of those 7 people that were arrested, let's be real. Do you think they're going to serve any time?
No.
Absolutely not. So this past weekend, there were at least 5 of these big street takeovers. And what happens is parking lots, intersections, parts of the road, they're all occupied by a bunch of people doing donuts, lighting fires, dangerous activities with vehicles. And then when the police show up, like what happened this past weekend, they throw gas at them, oil at them, barrels, cones, baseball bats to bust out the window of the police cruisers.
Barrel over them. When you say barrel, I'm thinking use your police vehicle and barrel over these pedestrians that are throwing things at you. Light them up.
Listen to what one of these lunatics told RTV6. Now, of course, it's somebody in a mask and a hood because, you know, they're Johnny Tough Guy when they get out there, but they don't want anybody to know who they are. But listen to this. This is wild. They have absolutely zero fear of the justice system in Marion County.
We all agreed we are not backing down from IMPD this weekend and next weekend and the weekend after that. I mean, if IMPD wants to keep showing up, we'll keep retaliating.
Cop cars were damaged. Parts of the street were set on fire. What was the reason behind that?
IMPD shouldn't be outside if we are. If they just stop showing up to these locations while we are outside, we are not causing no harm. Yes, we started fires, but nothing else caught on fire.
Yeah, we did start fires, but we didn't cause any harm. We're not partaking in any dangerous activity. This guy sounds like Anthony Michael Hall in the Breakfast Club. We're not going to back down from IMPD. Yeah, you will. Trust me. When they get in your face and they've got you in handcuffs and they've got your face pressed to the ground, you're going to back down, bro.
But here's my counter to that, Nige. As much as I would love to see that happen, Ryan Mears and Joe Hawksett would blame the police for that. They would blame the police for being overly aggressive against people breaking the law. This is the same city that paid off the family of Drayshawn Reed, the same Drayshawn Reed who fired shots at and tried to kill an officer. They settled with his family. So again, everything you're saying is right, and I 100% wish that those things would happen. But this is why there are 400 to 500 officers short in Indianapolis.
Start tasing some people, man. Like, seriously, start using the methods you would to put down a riot with these cars and these street takeovers.
Here's more from the chief of IMPD, Chris Bailey.
You cannot and will not get away with this behavior in our community. You put the community at risk with your reckless and irresponsible behavior. And if I can get a hold of your car, I'm going to take your car too.
And your driver's license, if you haven't already had it suspended.
Like, I would love to see somebody go full Porky's, walk over with a billy club. Looks like you have a light out. No, I don't. Bam! Now you do. Go home. But that's just me. I'm kind of a romantic. Where are we at with Diddy? Sean Combs indicted sex trafficking and racketeering charges. The official charging documents are racketeering, sex trafficking, and prostitution transportation, Nige.
I'm just glad that he declined to have my picture taken with him all those years ago back in Vegas.
How did that conversation go?
We were at some press junket for the American Music Awards or something like that, and Diddy and his posse walked by, and I had my little digital cameras. It's like in 2003, and I go in the purest, whitest voice possible. Hey, yo, Diddy, can I get a pic? And then, like, everybody stopped. There was a record scratch, and he just looked at me. He goes, no. I just kept walking. Now, the
yo part of that is my favorite.
There was a yo.
Yo. Diddy? With like a really hard D in the middle?
Yeah, I would not be proud of that picture now. But, yeah, I mean, this has been going on for months in terms of his places, his different homes getting raided, and people associated with him under investigation with the trafficking allegations. And now it appears he has also been indicted on the same kind of things.
This is from the indictment, quote, "For decades, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct." It goes on to say he relied on the employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. I mean, those are some pretty strong charges there. It's more than just he said, she said. There's clearly a paper trail a mile long for this dude.
They have to find... I thought I read something where the police found like 1,000 bottles of lube at one location.
Jeffrey Toobin was there?
Toobin Lubin.
Wow.
Man, as if we don't have enough to worry about with the Mexican drug cartels and the sex traffickers across the southern border. We have it going on right here in the United States by an American. And maybe I have a feeling I'm very naive, but if it's going on with one high-profile, very rich individual, I'm assuming, Jeffrey Epstein style, I'm assuming it's not the only part that's taking place in the United States. And it's not the only American that's running something like this.
The South Park guys are going to have a field day with this because they've been crapping on Diddy for over a decade now. Probably almost 20 years. Like, the South Park guys hate Sean, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever the hell you want to call him, Combs. Here's a little trip down memory lane. This is the episode of South Park where Satan comes back to Earth and he wants to throw this rockin' Halloween party, but he doesn't want to do anything if Diddy has already done it before.
I'm thinking over here we bring out a huge chocolate fondue fountain.
Oh, yeah. P. Diddy had his birthday party here a couple years back, and he had one of those.
Oh, screw that then. I don't want a fondue fountain if P. Diddy had one.
Does it matter?
Yes, it matters. I don't want to do it if Diddy did it.
How about a donut machine?
Did Diddy do it?
Diddy did do it.
A full ice cream bar.
Diddy did it.
Damn it, what didn't Diddy do?
A Ferrari cake? Diddy didn't do it.
There was the episode where all the rich people were moving into South Park and all of Puff Daddy's kids were being introduced to the local children.
Ah, and these are Puff Daddy's kids. P. Diddy Mini, P. Poofy Bite Size, and Puff a Diddy Diddy Puff Pun Size.
And last but not least, this was the, in my opinion, greatest episode in South Park history, the Vote or Die episode. Because Puff Daddy had some stupid campaign called Vote or Die back in like 2004 or something, and South Park made fun of it.
Puff Daddy?
Your friend Kyle told me you don't understand the importance of voting. Apparently you haven't heard of my Vote or Die campaign.
Vote or Die? What the hell does that even mean?
What do you think it means, Vote or die, motherfucker, vote or die. Rock the vote or else I'm gonna stick a knife through your eye. Democracy is founded on one simple rule. Get out there and vote or I will kill you.
P. Diddy, by the way, pleading not guilty to all charges.
Matt Bear standing by with a look at the roads.
All right, south side, southbound 65 shy of Raymond Street is a cleanup on the interstate right now. With debris and dirt all over the place. 2 left lanes are blocked. Traffic is stopped through the north split out to Rural Street. And inbound 65 is slow because of it. Before 21st Street down to the north split. West side southbound 465 jammed up because of construction. This is West 56th Street past Crawfordsville Road. 4 right lanes are blocked. That should be done early tomorrow morning. Crash west side Girls School Road at Crawfordsville Road. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop Grand Appliance for expert advice. Thousands of in-stock appliance options, fast delivery, and professional installation. Learn more at grandappliance.com or your local Grand Appliance showroom. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up here in just about 15 minutes, Jeff Boggs, not Kenny Rogers, will join us in studio. And we have got some passes to give away a little bit later on for the big live extravaganza. Nigel and I are doing this Friday up at Grand Park, the Indy Suburban Home Show. So stick around. We got some things to give away. We got some fun guests. We've got caller roulette. We are going to have a good time. It's 86 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Mark Didel is the only real estate expert I trust with the sale of my home. And it was the same for Dee and Andrew in Noblesville. Here's what they had to say. We were done with the rat race and ready to live the dream of buying a camper and traveling west. We needed top cash from our home to make our dream work. Thankfully, we hired Mark Didel, who delivered big time. Our home sold for our asking price in 4 days on the market.
Mark Didel is the only real estate agent that we trust and recommend here on the Hammer and Nigel Show. And it's because of the guarantee. The guarantee is a game changer. Mark Didel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick your move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Call Mark Didel today, 317-755-4232, or go to markdidel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdidel.com.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. And a thank you to our loyal customers for making our agency a national sales leader for the 7th straight year. We recently saved a family of 4 over $500 monthly when compared to their ACA plan. You know it's still Obamacare, right? We've recently saved a 61-year-old retiring couple over $600 when compared to their COBRA plan. Breaking news. We are now able to offer health insurance to employer groups of all sizes with 2 of the largest insurers in the Midwest. We'll be here when you need us. Quoting my favorite president, what the heck do you have to lose? We can help. As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
Call Ron or Terry at 317-563-0868. That's 317-563-0868. Or go to rragency.org. That's rragency.org. A health plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Truck drivers, it's time to drive for a company that values your time. At Midwest Logistics Systems, you'll get home every day and have a predictable Monday through Friday schedule with occasional Saturdays. Plus, you'll enjoy the convenience of driving out and back routes and hauling no-touch, mostly drop-and-hook freight. MLS drivers also earn performance and safety bonuses and have access to a comprehensive benefits package. Explore our selection of local dedicated driving jobs and apply today at MidwestLogisticsSystems.com.
Pat Sullivan here for Hope Plumbing. For 17 years, my friends at Hope Plumbing have treated homes like their very own. With local owners who care deeply about this community, they put your health and safety at the forefront of their business. That's why when I need plumbing help, no matter how big or small, I only call Hope Plumbing. They care about you and your family, which is why I believe they're the very best place to take your plumbing problems. Give them a call at 641-HOPE. That's 641-HOPE or hopeplumbing.com.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure of
1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity theft.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Is your pet a digging enthusiast, an escape artist, or a counter surfer?
Invisible Fence brand has you covered. For the wannabe landscaper, we've got a solution to keep them active but not destructive. For the escape artist, our personalized pet fences keep them safe and sound at home. Counter surfer? No problem. We know how to keep cheese thieves at bay. Invisible Fence brand. Tailor-made solutions for your pet, your yard, and your needs. Visit invisiblefence.com today.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Absolute Comfort, your American Standard air dealer serving Central Indiana.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You, your girl, and your Johnson.
The Hammer, the question is...
Oh, come on, we got nothing out of that?
Was that the Johnson thing from last night?
Thank you.
I barely put my headphones on.
Just sit there and act like you did not hear Do Your Girl and Your Johnson and be a professional. Come on. Who are you?
That was the Johnson boats, I believe they're referring to. Just you, your girl, and your Johnson.
Yes.
Well, you might as well find it from yesterday and play it again, Allison. So you give people some context as to what we're talking about. It's a totally innocent, sweet commercial back in the 80s about a boat advertisement. The boat makers were named Johnson. Here it is.
Saturday nights, distant lights. You, your girl, and your Johnson.
You and your Johnson, a way of life for over 50 years.
Damn right it is.
There you go. A little bit of context there. Is it okay, Hammer, to cut your toenails while lounging at a hotel pool while other people are sitting around? Here's a woman on social media complaining about a guy sitting 15 from her doing it.
Sitting at the pool, watching the kids live their best life, and I can hear this clicking. I know what sound that is. Please do not let it be true. Right near where I'm sitting, some dirty pig is cutting their toenails about 15 feet away from me. A grown man is cutting his toenails by the pool. And the worst thing is that when he finished, he just scooped them all off the towel onto the floor. Please tell me I'm not the only one totally disgusted by this.
Well, yeah, you've had a couple incidents in a public pool. You've seen people behaving badly, Hammer. I'll leave this. I'll defer to you. I don't know that I have a huge problem with it.
Really? So those toenails are going to go somewhere after they cut them off this gross person's foot, right? So they're going to fall to the ground, and then the wind might blow.
Water might
move
take
them around.
Yeah.
People are going to be walking around the outside of that pool. Do you really want to step on some dude's gross fungus-infected toenails?
She called him a dirty pig. Like he was sitting there while in the nude cutting his toenails. Then I could see it.
Would that make it okay for you then?
No, I would probably, yeah.
I can't believe I'm being the adult in the room here.
Well,
that's not okay.
I would say if I felt the need to trim my toenails, I'd do it up in the hotel room. I don't think I'd wait. I don't think I'd wait to go down in public and do it.
Just because they need to be trimmed doesn't mean you have to do it there. Right? Like if we have a big Christmas party here at Urban One, I'm not going to stop in the middle of our general manager's speech to clip my toenails because they need to be done. That's gross and inappropriate. That's not the time. And sitting at the pool is not the time for that.
Just like it's not the time to, I don't know, eat a donut?
That's correct. I did see that when I was a youngster. There was a big...
Take me through that.
So at the community swimming pool, right, in the place where we lived, I go there with my dad. I'm probably 9, 8 years old maybe, and there's just a big, fat, hairy son of a you-know-what sitting right there by the steps. Picture Chris Christie, but furrier. And he's got a big glazed donut. Not like the type you would buy in like a vending machine. Like he went somewhere and got it.
Sure, like Long's Bakery or something.
Correct. So he takes this glazed donut, he dips it in the pool water, and then he starts to eat it.
Oh, man, I bet that made it nice and soft and gooey for him.
Oh, now think about all the things that happen in pool water, right? Everybody's in there peeing.
Sure.
It's got chlorine in it. There are some bugs, I'm sure. But this dude did not care. 0 blanks given. Takes his donut, dips it in the water, and he's just sitting there Like, yeah, I bet you guys are impressed. Look at me.
I don't have a problem with saying that behavior is 100 times worse than what this woman was describing and witnessing with the dude cutting his toenails. That makes me vomit. That would make me throw
Allison,
up.
I'm going to need a judge here. What is worse, the guy cutting his toenails at the pool or the fat bastard dipping the donut?
I'm going to go with the toenails.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, that could hurt somebody. I mean, he could that could, hit somebody's eye or something as he's trimming.
Okay, now you lost the argument because it's not like he's cutting off,
You don't
shreds
know.
of knives here,
You don't
Allison.
know. He's a man trimming his toenails at the pool. He's capable of anything.
So
The donut's not bothering anyone, but
your
the guy
argument,
dipping it.
just so I'm clear, your argument is not that it's
Safety.
unsanitary and nobody wants to step in that or it's gross. You're afraid somebody might have their neck severed by a toenail.
Correct.
An errant cut toenail
Listen.
that flies off the toe.
Hey, cut that out! You're going to kill somebody!
Listen, you asked for my opinion. That's what you got.
And now I'm regretting it. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Did you know the Social Security Trust Fund is expected to run out of money in less than 10 years? And according to Barron's, an average income couple could lose like $16,500 every year in Social Security income. That's crazy. That's why it's so critical you have the right strategy to file for Social Security. That's why you need to get a hold of Bill Demery right now, 648-5120.
I mean, let's be honest. This is some complicated stuff here. But Bill Demery will let you know how you could get every nickel that's rightfully yours with a free custom Social Security analysis. Bill Demery, your retirement guy. If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, call Bill Demery today, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Cindy Carrasco has spent a career holding the powerful accountable. As Indiana's Inspector General and Director of the State Ethics Commission, Cindy fought waste, fraud, and abuse wherever she found it. Cindy also combated wrongdoing in state government, which meant standing up and doing the right thing even if it wasn't popular. Now, as our state senator, Cindy Carrasco continues to fight on behalf of all Hoosiers by improving the quality of our children's education, providing tax relief for everyone, and working to make our communities safe by getting law enforcement the resources they need to fight crime, violence, and keep fentanyl away from our families. It's why Cindy has been endorsed by the Indiana Fraternal Order of Police, State Police Alliance, and the Professional Firefighters of Indiana. Because they know that Cindy has their back, and we know she has ours. Vote for more government transparency, better schools, lower taxes, and safer streets. Vote Cindy Carrasco for State Senate.
Paid for by Cindy for Senate.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
4 people shot. 85 degrees, mostly sunny at the Circle. The radar's clear. Low of 59 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox from Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 3:31. Gunshots and 4 people hurt on the north side. It was around 1:15 this morning when IMPD was called to Capitol Avenue, not far from the Children's Museum and Crown Hill Cemetery. IMPD Captain John Arvin says when they showed up, they found a man and woman, each shot.
Yes, they were together at the same time when they were shot, but they didn't describe any vehicles or any people in the area.
And later, another car showed up to the scene. 2 other gunshot victims were inside, a man and a woman there. All 4 people expected to survive. Police are investigating them as separate incidents. They're also on the lookout for any suspects. The FBI is still looking into the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump, confirms Attorney General Merrick Garland.
The FBI is continuing to investigate the apparent assassination attempt of the former president that occurred on Sunday in Florida. We are grateful that he is safe.
The Secret Service spotted the suspect hiding near the golf course with a gun before he was eventually taken into custody after trying to get away. President Joe Biden wants to pay firefighters in California more money.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to make we've raised the pay to $29 an hour. I want to make that permanent for these firefighters.
The state continues to deal with serious wildfires this summer. Those raises would go to the firefighters who were trying to put them out. A report says Indiana is working to remove obstacles and make the state more appealing to newcomers. Ryan Hedrick explains.
The Indiana Chamber's report highlights how the state falls behind its competitors when it comes to attracting and retaining businesses.
We looked at 14 other states and looked at the East Coast, West Coast, other Midwestern states, the South, and try to figure out, are we competitive?
David Ober from the Chamber, in an interview with Indy Politics, says the study also focuses on building strong workforces, which further incentivizes businesses to stay in Indiana. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The average price you're paying for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $3.06, says GasBuddy.com. That's about 10 cents cheaper than the national average. Traffic and weather in 60 seconds. It's 3:33.
Back to school season arrives in Indiana. It's time to focus on school supplies and those home projects you've been delaying. Don't worry. With Moss Roofing, you're not alone. They're here to help with your roofing and siding, making sure your home is a safe place for math homework each and every day. Choose Moss Roofing to transform your home's exterior with top-notch James Hardy siding, protecting your home from those Indiana storms and enhancing your curb appeal. Their inspections are always free, and they'll even give you a 3D design link so you can visualize the makeover before they even begin. Talk to Moss Roofing today, a second-generation family business based right here in Central Indiana. For a job done right every single time. I love when they do that. MossRoofing.com, 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 747-3665 or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, MossRoofing.com.
With traffic at 3:34, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison South side, southbound 65 before Raymond. 2 left lanes are blocked while they clean up the interstate. It's full of debris in those left 2 lanes. Also a semi on the left shoulder and traffic stopped. Back to the north split out to Rural Street. Now southbound 65 coming into downtown. We have a stall at 21st Street blocking 2 left lanes and traffic stopped back to MLK. Slow even after that from West Street into the north split. West side, southbound 465 jammed because of construction. This is West 56th Street down to Crawfordsville Road. 4 right lanes are blocked until tomorrow morning early. That should be done around 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. And a crash on the west side, Girls School Road at Crawfordsville Road. East side southbound 465 stop and go traffic from Penn Pike down to Washington. Traffic sponsored by Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show. The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show at Grand Park featuring over 200 exhibitors September 20th through the 22nd. Tickets are only $7 at suburbanindyshows.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies expected for the day today. It is going to be a toasty Tuesday with high temperatures near 86. Mostly clear tonight, lows will fall to 61. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here with a special in-studio guest.
He is a former writer for David Letterman, an accomplished award-winning producer, not Kenny Rogers on social media. It's Jeff Boggs. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. Sorry I'm late. I was at a street takeover, and things ran a little long, so sorry.
They usually tend to go over when the scheduled ending is put out. They usually tend to like 10.
We had a lunch today, but happy to be here. Excited.
You can't leave until like the fire has been extinguished. It's like a safety measure for everybody. We got a number of different things on the docket, which I think you are so qualified to speak about today.
Okay.
Before we dive into anything Diddy related or the low ratings at the Emmys, Donald Trump was almost shot, I guess, this past weekend. There was some lunatic pro-Ukraine loving leftist that was on the golf course for 12 hours hoping Trump would get close enough so he could shoot and kill him while streaming it on GoPro. Your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, you hate to say it, but I'm sitting there watching football on Sunday, and you see a blurb that something happened, and you're like, I assume that it's an assassination attempt. And then throughout the day, they never even broke into the football games. I'm just shocked that we're at a point now where it wasn't that crazy. So,
and if you watched the Colts game, you would have loved to have had somebody broke into that game.
Please,
and
somebody put me out of my misery.
Save us from that.
It's true. And the Secret Service, their whole story has more holes in it than a Gus Bradley defense. Am I right?
Oh, there we go. We're off and running. Let's go.
I love it.
Let's go.
Everything you're hearing right now, what Hillary today is back to claiming Trump is Hitler. MSNBC is...
I was told we were going to turn down the temperature, Jeff.
I don't think anyone turned anything down. I think it's actually getting worse. And, it is a little bit scary. I saw Chris Cuomo today do a mea culpa saying, I'm so sorry, Trump, that this is happening. I think people in the media are starting to feel somewhat responsible, which is great to see. I hope some of the liberal voters are feeling the same.
You've met Trump before. I think we had a conversation off the air. Like you were working on some reality show and you had a chance to kind of have a chat with him.
I sat down with Trump for 2 hours in his boardroom in Trump Tower in New York City. I had to ask him 100 random trivia questions and for a failed NBC pilot. And he couldn't have been funnier or he couldn't have been nicer. So...
What scares me, Jeff, and Hammer, I mentioned this to you, is that these two guys, the guy from a month ago in Butler, Pennsylvania, and this guy on a golf course that was hiding out, it wasn't like it was Rambo and Jason Bourne. And they still got close to the president. What if it was somebody who actually knew what they were doing and had a background in this and was insane? That's what's bone chilling to me, that these two doofuses were able. I mean, there was more gunshots, although not towards Donald Trump for the second time, but there was gunfire hundreds of yards away from the president. And these guys aren't anything to write home about. They're not making any Jason Bourne style assassin movies about these guys. And they were still able to get close to the president.
Right. It's terrifying. I think at this point we've reached, the terrifying level. The guy was in a duck blind for 12 hours. How does any of that make sense?
No.
If Trump decided that day to play golf and no one knew about it, then I think you start with, well, who invited him to play golf and work backwards from there.
When you were out in California, what was the thought of the people you worked with regarding Donald Trump?
Well, it's funny because when we were doing the pilot, it was called Wall of Fame for NBC. It was actually a great show. It's just nobody believed that the celebrities were that dumb, so the show didn't work. But when we booked Donald Trump on the show, we had 50 celebrities, and we had some big names. Donald Trump was the one people were most excited about. Everybody liked the guy.
This was before he obviously ran for office and all that kind of stuff.
Right, but it was right before. I mean, it was like six months before he came down the escalator. So he obviously had plans to do it, but still you had people in Hollywood like Mark Burnett who, were supporters, and the head of NBC was a supporter. But my goodness, the second he went down that elevator, the entire town, he turned into Satan. And it was palpable with the females in the town. It just, you couldn't forget wearing a Trump hat or a Trump T-shirt. If you even mentioned his name, they would start ripping their eyes out. So
why?
I think because he can win. Honestly, at the end of the day, I think Trump can win. And we're coming off of McCain and Romney, who had no shot at actually winning an election. Trump scared the crap out of everyone because, look, it worked. People, he was able to get 70 million people to vote for him. And that's where we're at now. They know he can actually win.
It's just wild because you look at pictures. Like, there's a picture of Donald Trump hanging out, playing grab ass with Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. And Donald Trump has pretty much stayed the same type of guy. It's not like all of a sudden he's done a complete 180. He just decided to say he was a Republican. He's not even really a Republican, but these people, they can't be caught dead with him now.
That's right. And I think there's a great picture. I believe he's with Rosa Parks. and the daughter of Martin Luther King receiving a humanitarian award for fighting racism. And imagine that today.
I believe the name of Martin Luther King's daughter was Velvet.
Yes, Joe Biden said, "Happy birthday, Velvet," in a very heartwarming speech at a black church in Michigan. Jeff Boggs is with us. All right, so let's talk about some more celebrity stuff if we can. Diddy, Sean Combs, has been indicted. He's in court today. We're talking about some serious stuff here. Did you ever hear any chatter about what type of dude he was?
Yes, every single person in New York and Los Angeles knew that he was a giant D-bag, but he was a scary D-bag because it goes back to the Biggie and Tupac and all of that. You know, he was part of it. He wasn't a passive participant. He was actively involved in those wars. So he was great TV. He put out great songs. I was in New York City when Mo Money, Mo Problems came out, and it took over the city. Like, that was the jam of 1998. And, you know, people, I think it took a while. The Jennifer Lopez story, when she, if you remember the gun, something when she was dating P. Diddy and a gun fell out at a party, that spooked her. And I think she realized that she may be Jenny from the block, but she was scared crapless of P. Diddy.
Right.
And then ran to the Ben Affleck's block, so.
I mean, it's one thing, though, to always carry your piece with you and you make a mistake and you drop it or it goes off. We're talking about some Epstein type stuff here. Like, I could hear some rumors and allegations about somebody being a dangerous hothead, but I think that's totally different than hearing rumors and allegations that somebody is trafficking sex and children and God knows what else.
Somebody as high profile as that was what I was I felt a little naive earlier. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein Island was one thing, but you have nobody really knew much about that guy or who that was. I mean, everybody knows who P. Diddy is. Very successful, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And we're already having to worry about the trafficking issue across the southern border with the cartels. And now you're telling me a music mogul is involved in a multi-billion-dollar, or allegedly involved in multi-billion-dollar sex trafficking?
It's actually, I think it's even bigger than that, Nigel. I don't think people realize how horrible these celebrities are. You know, I really do think that you watch and they think that Ellen DeGeneres comes out and dances with the audience and she's great. And they think that P. Diddy's dancing around, having a great time, telling people to vote for Hillary. They're horrible people and they're involved in some serious stuff. And the more that this comes out, not only are the celebrities very nervous right now, but back to Epstein. You know, I think there's a lot of politicians who hung with P. Diddy and are really, really nervous right now, which leads me to think Hillary has to be close.
Oh, all right. Stick around. We're going to come back because I want to get your thoughts on a couple other things. Have a little conversation here with Jeff Boggs, not Kenny Rogers, on Twitter. Give him a follow. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
There's a few things I wanted to let you know about Window Nation. That's the company that installed windows in the front of my house. About 16 of them within a day, by the way. Window Nation has a 96% customer satisfaction rating. It's the highest in the industry. And replacing your windows with Window Nation could save you up to 40% savings on your energy bills, especially with the weather coming up this winter. Window Nation has an unbeatable lifetime warranty.
Hammer here. My house looks great. My heating and air bills are lower because I've got the best energy efficient windows from Window Nation. And right now, you can get the same thing, but pay a lot less. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. No limit, nothing down, no interest, no payments for 24 months. At least get an estimate. Call for an estimate. 866-90-NATION. What do you have to lose? 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hey guys, it's Rob from my friends at Universal Windows Direct. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. 317-659-7574. At Universal Windows Direct, their Super Spacer technology makes their windows last up to 5 times longer than other Windows systems. So your windows from Universal Windows Direct perform better and last longer. Plus, Universal Windows Direct backs it up with a true 20-year warranty. And listen to this deal going on with Universal Windows Direct. Call today at 317-659-7574, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Buy 20, get 20. There's no limit. Plus, what a deal, 0% financing for 60 months. That's right, 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com, uwd.com, uwd.com.
Need a new work truck? Need a new fleet vehicle? Andy Moore Ford has got you covered. Over 800 new vehicles available on the lot, including the Super Duty trucks available starting only at $43,995. You've got F-150s, transit vans, the custom work vehicles for any industry, all built Ford tough, and Rangers with that all-new body style from only $36,995. And of course, you want the cool fun stuff. They've got the Broncos, the Bronco Sports. I'm driving a Bronco. I own a Bronco Sport. And interest rates as low as 0% APR available on new Andy Moore Fords. And when you need service, Andy Moore Ford will come to you. Just schedule it online at andymoreford.com. They'll come pick up the vehicle, service it, and bring it back to you as good as new. Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. Visit them on Main Street. Tell them Tony Cat sent you, or find them online at andymoreford.com. That's Andy Moore Ford, M-O-H-R.
I love Andy.
andymoreford.com.
Indiana Digital Learning School is the perfect choice for students who desire an academic challenge with an educational plan tailored to their individual needs. Does your child need an education more in tune with their learning style? Do you have an advanced teen who would benefit from dual enrollment opportunities to earn high school and college credits? Indiana Digital Learning School is a tuition-free online public school now enrolling for the 2024-2025 school year. Learn more at k12.com/INDLS.
Research shows smoking costs Indiana businesses $3.1 billion every year. It also shows that an extra $2 per pack tax on cigarettes would drastically reduce smoking, which could save lives, create jobs, and infuse the state of Indiana with hundreds of millions of dollars annually. Read the reports from the Richard M. Fairbanks Foundation at thepriceofsmoking.org and see for yourself how an extra $2 per pack tax on cigarettes can have a positive impact on Hoosiers.
This is Chris Wedican with Absolute Comfort. Go to AbsoluteComfort.org to find out how dual fuel systems can keep you absolutely comfortable all day, every day.
Absolute Comfort is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa. There is still time to get a patio this season. Get on the books now for a patio this fall. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, changing the way Indy thinks about concrete.
Head to Suburban Indy's Home and Outdoor Living Show at the Grand Park Event Center this Friday. Catch Hammer and Nigel broadcasting live 3 to 7 and see over 200 home experts, exhibitors, service providers, and more.
Matt Bear standing by with a look at the roads.
Southbound 65 cleanup on some debris on the interstate continues. This is southbound 65 shy of Raymond Street, and 2 left lanes are blocked. We are stopped through the north split back to Rural Street and a little bit beyond. Inbound 65 at 21st, a stall blocking the left lane, causing stop-and-go traffic to the White River. We're jammed up after that down to the north split. West side construction has us stopped on southbound 465 from I-65 down to Crawfordsville Road. 4 right lanes are blocked until early tomorrow morning. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. There is still time to get a patio this season. Get on the books now for a patio this fall. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts changing the way Indy thinks about concrete. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
86 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Jeff Boggs joining us, probably best known as being the writer for David Letterman, but you've also had a hand in a number of other programs. So as a guy that's connected to the entertainment world, what did you think of when you saw the ratings, or the lack thereof, come in for the Emmy Awards?
Yeah, it's crazy. So 4 million viewers for Sunday night's Emmy Awards. And I went through and I looked. And so just going back, 10 years at a time, 94 was 21 million viewers. 2004 was 16 million. 2014 was 15 million. And now we're at 4 million. And I have a theory. I think this is what happens when 95% of the content coming from Hollywood is only made for 5% of the country. You literally have viewers who are, it's so segmented now that you just don't have the shows. Like growing up, we all had, must-see TV, Thursday night, NBC, people will argue, hey, but there weren't as many outlets back then. There weren't as many channels. My question is, then why does Sunday Night Football still get the same rating?
Right. I've heard of, what was there, 7 nominations for Outstanding Comedy Series. You just mentioned Hacks to me off the air, but you said that's a really good one, right?
Yeah.
I've heard of The Bear. That was up for one. Curb Your Enthusiasm. Only Murders in the Building were like the only others that I've heard of. All the rest of these things I've heard on the Outstanding Comedy Series, at least, it's just I've never heard of them.
Does it feel like there are a number of celebrities that would almost be okay with losing money and damaging their brand to push their political message through to a camera?
Well, I think let me use an example. Well, I'll use an example. Netflix in 2022 bought a show, Neil Patrick Harris, and it was called Uncoupled. They spent $20 million on 8 episodes. Let me tell you the log line. A recently single Neil Patrick Harris goes around New York and hooks up with other 50-year-old gay gentlemen. $20 million Netflix spent on it. No one watched it. All 8 episodes aired. Literally no one watched it. It may have had a negative rating. You would think, okay, a big swing and a miss. But no. Showtime came in and said, you know what? I think we may buy a second season of that show. And so, yes, to your point, Hammer, what has happened is people are much more interested in pushing their agenda than ratings. And what's going to happen, and you see this with a bunch of streamers now falling out, Paramount going under, it can only last for so long. At some point, the money runs out.
Yeah, Netflix is, if you remember their show, Dear White People.
Right.
Which, I mean, I never saw it. I think it was a comedy, and they, it's digging into everyday racism, but you lost me at white people. It's Dear White People. You know what it's going to be.
Right.
It's going to be an entire show just making...
It's not going to be a support group for those who love Seinfeld. Let me put it that way.
But I would watch that. I would watch that show.
Last thing here before we let you go, Jeff. We got about a minute left here. You are a unapologetic IU football fan.
Right on.
There aren't many of those out there, but right now, you guys look pretty damn good.
Yeah, I used to. When I was in college, I went to IU, graduated with a degree in sports communication. I used to call the games up in the press booth. Cool. We would sit right next to Mellencamp. It was very cool. So since then, I've been a diehard Indiana fan. Living in California, that means I had to wake up at 8:30 a.m. every Saturday to watch them play, and I would always get my hopes up, and then naturally things
the game would start, and then they'd go away.
It would come crashing down. But this year, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it if I have a couple seconds left, I guarantee the Indiana Hoosiers finish the season undefeated and win the national championship.
Guaranteed.
Wow.
Guaranteed.
Okay.
Write it down. Take a picture.
Wow.
I'll take that bet. But hey, I love the optimism. Where can people follow your work?
You know what? I got banned from Facebook. I got banned from Instagram. So Twitter.
At Not Kenny Rogers.
Thanks,
Jeff
buddy.
Boggs, thank you. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, man, the guys from Galaxy Concrete Coatings did an absolute miracle, an incredible job in turning my old, decrepit, cracked, faded garage floor into something brand new in as little as a day. My Galaxy Concrete garage floor coating is out of this world. 4 times stronger than it used to be. Faster drawing, stronger hold. It's not slippery, and it's not epoxy. They don't use epoxy. That's the old stuff. This is better. They use polyurea, the new premium standard for coatings. And as a matter of fact, I love the job they did on my garage so much that they are coming back to do the furnace room and the concrete there in my basement. Check out their website, see pictures, get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070.
High five! Up top! Heck yeah!
Dave's company just got the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah, 5 years!
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
High five for gig speed!
5 years of advanced security.
Security win!
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Our rate ain't changing.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
There it is!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Woohoo!
Now he's got savings.
I'm so excited!
Yep, Dave's feeling it. But it's only for a limited time, so don't wait. Switch today and ask how to get the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Powering 5 years of savings. Powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Ends 9/22/24. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
At Shane Company, we'll help you design an engagement ring as unique as your love story. We have the widest selection of diamonds and gemstones for you to choose from, and you can compare them side by side right here in our store. Only at Shane Company can you sift through exquisite diamonds, rubies, and a rainbow of sapphires in a variety of shapes and sizes. We'll help you create your dream engagement ring no matter your price range. Choose the ring setting that speaks to your style, from classic to modern to vintage. We offer so many ways to personalize your ring. Pick your favorite center stone, add a decorative crown and a custom engraving, or select a perfectly preset ring that's ready to go. At Shane Company, our jewelers know how much your ring means to you. They hand-set each center stone with precision and pride in our jeweler's workshop, so you can feel confident knowing your ring is crafted with the greatest care and comes with an unmatched free lifetime warranty that lets you know we'll always be here for you. Your love story deserves to shine bright. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Ugh, I've been feeling so sluggish. I'm just kind of blah.
Been there. That's why I take Align yogurt-coated probiotic fruit bites.
But I suppose they taste blah.
Actually, they taste delicious. It's an apple blueberry flavored center covered in a yogurt coating and is infused with probiotics to help support a healthy gut. They come 5 in a pouch. I just toss one in my bag and go.
Toss one in my bag?
Get your own.
New Align yogurt-coated probiotic fruit bites from the makers of the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Find them in the digestive care aisle.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated. And you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. We find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Indiana Foundation Service. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at indianafoundation.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, your local news. It's all happening after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Fox News. I checked on him to see if he was okay. Vice President Kamala Harris says she spoke with former President Trump today after what happened Sunday when a man is suspected of trying to kill him. I told him what I have said publicly. There's no place for political violence in our country. During an interview with the Black Journalists Group, Harris adding she still feels safe, but that not everybody has the Secret Service. And there are far too many people in our country right now who are not feeling safe. Singling out the LGBTQ community, women, and immigrants, calling it a crying shame what's happening in Springfield, Ohio, where state police are now protecting schools in the controversy over claims made online and repeated by Trump about Haitian immigrants. The former president and running mate J.D. Vance blaming Democrat rhetoric for attacks on Trump.
2 assassination attempts in as many months, and I think that it's time to say to the Democrats, to the media, to everybody that has been attacking this man and trying to censor this man for going on 10 years, cut it out or you're going to get somebody killed.
Vance earlier today at a Michigan rally, White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre pointing back to the Capitol riot.
President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat that the former president represents to our democracy.
At the same time, reiterating a call to lower the temperature. Rapper and music producer Sean Diddy Combs pleads not guilty to a federal indictment accusing him of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking.
The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways.
U.S. Attorney Damian Williams accusing Combs of fulfilling his own sexual desires by facilitating what he called freak-offs. The judge is hearing lengthy arguments on whether he should be granted bail. A mixed finish on Wall Street, the Dow down about 16 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A couple of shootings this morning. 85 degrees with clear skies over the monument. A check of the radar comes up clear. Low temps tonight go just below 60. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. 4 people were shot on the north side this morning around 1:15. Not far from the Children's Museum. IMPD Captain John Arvin says 2 people were near each other when it happened.
They heard some shots, and all of a sudden they were shot.
And he says another car showed up at the scene. 2 more gunshot victims inside of it. They were shot somewhere else nearby. All 4 people expected to survive. Police are looking into the whole thing and are also looking for suspects. Without tax breaks for large corporations, Indiana would struggle to bring in new businesses, says reports from the Indiana Chamber.
We're competitive. It's just how do we find ways to get a competitive advantage over these states that we compete with for business and capital investment.
David Ober from the Chamber told Indy Politics that higher property taxes are a challenge for manufacturing and life sciences, but Indiana's overall tax burden remains below the national average. September is National Voter Registration Month, meaning it's a great time to register to vote or update any of that info before the October 7th deadline. Wes Woodward reports.
In Indiana, voters must be an Indiana resident, 18 years old on or before Election Day, have a valid Indiana driver's license or state-issued ID, be a citizen of the United States, and have lived in the same precinct for at least 30 days before the November 5th election. Representative Jim Pressel of Rolling Prairie adds,
whether it's the first time or the 100th time at the ballot box, voting is always important. IndianaVoters.com makes it easy to check your registration, view your ballot, and find your polling location.
Early voting starts October 8th. Wes Woodward, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Purdue head football coach Ryan Walters says it's time for his team to bounce back. They lost 66-7 to Notre Dame last Saturday.
You know, I've got to do a better job of preparing us for opportunities and moments like that. Because we're gonna have them all throughout the course of the year.
The Boilermakers have Oregon State up next this Saturday. Kickoff at 8:30. It'll be under the lights. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code EASY, or text EASY to 511-511 and claim 40% off. roundhouseprovisions.com, code EASY.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text EASY to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
With traffic in the 5s at 4:05. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, southbound 65 on the south side at Raymond Street. We have interstate cleanup. 2 left lanes are blocked, debris all over the place. And traffic is stopped into the north split back to Emerson Avenue. Inbound 65, also a struggle. We have a stall at 21st, blocking 2 left lanes, stopping traffic to the White River. Even slow after that, jammed up from 21st to the north split. Eastbound 70, stop and go. Belmont to the south split. West side, southbound 465, jam before I-65 down to Crawfordsville Road. 4 right lanes are blocked until tomorrow morning because of construction. Should be done before morning rush. East side, southbound 465, slow roll from Penn Pike past I-70 in a crash. West side, this is Tibbs Avenue at 12th Street, backing up northbound, southbound Tibbs in both directions, big time. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career path with flexibility and great pay and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly clear skies once again for tonight. Our low temperatures in the lower 60s. Mostly sunny for tomorrow. High temperatures in the upper 80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse. For 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock.
The story about how Israel allegedly detonated thousands of pagers that Hezbollah was carrying on them is amazing. We'll get to that in just a second, Hammer. But just days after the second assassination attempt on his life, it appears the whole turning down the temperature and rhetoric stuff is over for people that don't like Donald Trump.
I don't think it ever really stopped for Hillary Clinton. I don't think old Pantsuit Patty felt bad even after he got his ear grazed in Pennsylvania. While some folks in the party said, we need to do some turning down of the temperature. That lasted maybe, 2 or 3 days? Not for Hillrod, hell no. She never stopped, and she's back at it again. She did an interview with Rachel Maddow on MSNBC just last night, a couple days removed from another credible assassination attempt on Trump's life, where she calls Donald Trump a danger to our country.
And I don't understand why it's so difficult for the press to have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is. The late, great journalist Harry Evans, one time said that, journalists should, really try to achieve objectivity. And by that, he said, I mean, they should cover the object. Well, the object in this case is Donald Trump, his demagoguery, his danger to our country and the world, and stick with it.
I mean, if anybody's going to say some horrible things that might get somebody killed, you'd probably be even money that it'd be a Clinton.
Yeah, I mean, this has been going on for not only weeks after Trump's first attempt, but this has been going on for years. Trump is a danger to our country, threat to democracy, existential threat. It's going to start World War III, fascist, Hitler, blah, 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 blah. And now we have twice over in as many months an attempt made on the president's life. But I thought we were going to turn the rhetoric down. And there you have Hillary Clinton. He's a danger to our country. I don't even care when it was said. I don't care if it was last night or last month or last year. It's saying it's a danger to our country is going to trigger somebody, quite literally, no pun intended, and have an attempt on Trump's life. It's happened twice now.
And in that same interview, again, Pantsuit Patty was on fire last night. She's calling for Trump supporters to potentially be thrown into prison if they share, quote, misinformation on social media.
But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda, and whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrence.
What an awful witch. I mean, we say that in jest about a lot of people, but I really do mean it from the bottom of my cold, dark heart. She's an awful, awful human being.
I mean, she was part of the Steele dossier. Hillary and the DNC commissioned the Steele dossier. Christopher Steele working alongside, Fusion GPS, the FBI, knowing it was all phony, used to get those FISA warrants to spy on the Trump campaign. She's going to sit there and talk about misinformation when she was the biggest purveyor of misinformation with the Steele dossier and the Russian hoax, Hammer.
And who does she want to be the supervisors of doing this? The same people who just did that presidential debate? Is that the kind of fact-checking you're looking for? Because that was a joke. And remember COVID? Boy, if you took certain medications, you were called a crackpot.
Ivermectin!
Hydroxychloroquine!
Remdesivir.
If you took any of those, they called you anything from a crackpot to somebody taking horse medication. And then a couple years later, it turns out everything's fine. And the same people who were finger wagging you were taking those medicines to get better. So, no, this is a horrible idea. It's an attack on free speech. And Hillary is on par with Kamala Harris, because do not get it twisted. If you think Kamala Harris is somebody that loves the idea of free speech and expression, you would be mistaken. Those two are the same right there. Speaking of Donald Trump, he dropped a new campaign video, and I think this is accurate. He's taking the volatile words of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton, putting it into a campaign ad, making the Democrats the party of violence.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be? Does one of us have to come out alive?
Hilarious.
Press always asks me, don't I wish I were debating him? No, I wish we were in high school I could take him behind the gym. That's what I wish. And I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
That you cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
President Walker, how do you resist the
Enemies
temptation to run up and wring her neck?
When they go low, we kick them.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
That's the peaceful, tolerant left, Nige.
Boy, that Maxine Waters thing where she says, yeah, you see them out in the restaurants, the department stores, the gas station, you create a crowd and push them around. That never gets old, does it?
You know what else doesn't get old? Your impression of Donald Trump yelling out Maxine Waters. Can I hear it one time?
Maxine Waters wants to create a crowd.
Thank you. All right. This story about the pagers blowing up in the pockets of Hezbollah members, this is some wild stuff. This is like something out of a movie. Walk me through this, Nige.
Hezbollah calls it the biggest security breach in the war with Israel. Hezbollah, of course, one of the many factions being bought and paid for by Iran, an Iran proxy bombing Israel. I don't know. There were 4,000 Hezbollahs. Is that a word? Hezbollahs? Hezbollah on a budget? No, they were, so Hezbollah had these pages in Israel that I'm not making any comment, of course, but they all triggered something in these pagers and they exploded. 11 Hezbollah killed, 4,000 injured, 400 critically. Pagers, of course, Hezbollah is using these pagers to try to avoid Israeli detection, right?
Right.
So somehow, I don't know how they did it. I don't know if they were the ones that brokered these pagers and was able to sell them third party to get into the hands and the pockets of this terrorist organization. And again, Israel's not confirming nor denying anything.
Sure.
Hezbollah calling it the biggest security breach in its war with Israel.
So they hacked in or hit some sort of detonator, and anybody that had one of these pagers in their pockets had their you-know-what's blown off.
I'm on Drudge Report, and there's several different headlines, and one of them says, it just says, testicles blown off? Crotch bombs. And I was looking, there's footage of these, 5 of them in this grocery store. And they all go off all at once, and they all fall to the ground, and their crotches are bleeding.
I believe the original line in the Christmas movie classic, It's a Wonderful Life, was, anytime a terrorist have his crank blown off, an angel gets its wings. I believe that was the original script, where they made a revision.
Slight revision.
Happy anniversary, Nige. 17 years ago today, 2007, Don't Tase Me, Bro took place. A University of Florida student named Andrew Meyer was tased by campus police and removed from a town hall while pressing John Kerry about Bush's foreign policy.
Get the f*** off me, man! I didn't do anything! Don't tase me,
Here
bro!
it comes.
Don't tase me! I didn't do anything! Ow! Ow!
There it is.
Narrator, he was tased. Which brings us to great moments in taser history.
There's such a thing?
In the movie The Hangover, where Rob Riggle is playing the role of a police officer, and he's training a young child to use a taser, and the kid uses it on Alan's face.
There you go. That's the stuff. I like the intensity. Eye of the tiger. Good. You're holding 50,000 volts, little man. Don't be afraid to ride the lightning.
In the face! In the face!
Great moments in taser history.
Incredible.
Matt Bear.
Looking at southbound 6570, still stopped from the north split down to Raymond Street, but the cleanup of the interstate has cleared at southbound 65 Raymond. 2 left lanes have reopened, so hopefully we'll be out of there before too long. In the meantime, westbound 70 is backed up to Emerson Avenue from the north split. Inbound 65 also stopped right now from the White River down to the north split, but the stall cleared at 21st, so that should get things moving a little bit. Eastbound 70 stop and go to the south split from Belmont. West side southbound 465 stopped after 71st to Crawfordsville Road. That's because of construction, should be done early tomorrow morning. And south side southbound 465 stop and go traffic from 70 over to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Primatene. During an asthma attack, every second feels like an eternity. Primatene Mist opens airways quickly. Get the #1 FDA-approved over-the-counter asthma inhaler, Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Nigel, we ran out of time, but remind me one day to pitch you my Shark Tank idea on how every iPhone should also work as a taser.
Maybe a taser app? Is that what you're
But it would
suggesting?
work for real. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, I've got that idea. I've got it worked out. I think we're going to solve a lot of problems.
You got this idea all of a sudden with Hezbollah and the exploding pagers?
I've had this idea for a long time.
Okay, I got you.
I feel like you could eliminate some gunshots.
Yeah.
And women would feel safer walking around if everybody on their iPhone had an app that turned it into a taser. I'm just saying. Right now, it's 86 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Do us a solid. Hit the like button on the YouTube page. Go to YouTube. Look for WIBC. Nigel and I are in here working our fat asses off for you. The least you can do is hit the like button, right? Come on, help us out. Is This Anything's next?
I still love Exercise Inc. I've been on the program for years. It gets me the exercise. It gets me the physical activity, the movement that my body and muscles crave. So trust me, like if you think you're too busy to exercise, my wife thought the same thing. She works from home, has a hectic schedule, but she takes once a week for 20 minutes out of her day, and she goes and gets the strength training that her body needs. And it's really, look, it's private. There's no mirrors, no music. You feel better, you lose some weight, look better, and you might even get off some of those prescription meds. And to go along with that, your personal coach, your trainer, will help you with your diet and eating habits and routines and what you need to do outside the gym to live a healthy lifestyle as well. They got you covered on all aspects at Exercise Inc. 5 locations: Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, go to the one in Zionsville, and now the new one in Fishers. ExerciseInc.com, ExerciseInc.com. Tell them Nigel sent you.
Cindy Carrasco has spent a career holding the powerful accountable. As Indiana's Inspector General and Director of the State Ethics Commission, Cindy fought waste, fraud, and abuse wherever she found it. Cindy also combated wrongdoing in state government, which meant standing up and doing the right thing even if it wasn't popular. Now, as our state senator, Cindy Carrasco continues to fight on behalf of all Hoosiers by improving the quality of our children's education, providing tax relief for everyone, and working to make our communities safe by getting law enforcement the resources they need to fight crime, violence, and keep fentanyl away from our families. It's why Cindy has been endorsed by the Indiana Fraternal Order of Police, State Police Alliance, and the Professional Firefighters of Indiana. Because they know that Cindy has their back, and we know she has ours. Vote for more government transparency, better schools, lower taxes, and safer streets. Vote Cindy Carrasco for State Senate.
Paid for by Cindy for Senate.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure.
Now, 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity theft.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it. Guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Earn, save, grow. It's time your money works harder and goes further with a Stockyards Bank and Trust CD. For a limited time, earn 5.15 annual percentage yield with our 5-month CD special. Proudly serving our communities since 1904. Visit any of our 5 Indianapolis area locations or syb.com/IndyCD today and experience the Stockyards Bank difference. 10,000 minimum balance required. Limited time offer. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
After college, Mike Braun could have gone anywhere. He chose to move back to his hometown of Jasper, Indiana. There, he started a small business, kept his head down, worked hard, and turned his small business into a national company, employing thousands of Hoosiers. He'll use that same determination for us. Lead the charge on lowering the price of gas, groceries, energy. Take on the big healthcare companies to increase healthcare access and lower costs. And Mike will improve education across our state by increasing school choice. Mike will make our streets safer, back the blue, and stop illegal immigration if the federal government won't. Because Braun believes every Hoosier should be safe and secure in their community. As governor, Braun will continue working for Hoosiers. Because when you're Mike, working hard is just what you do. Mike Braun, governor. Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
If you have breathing triangle issues like compromised nasal breathing and sleep, snoring, or even sleep apnea issues, a call to Advent makes sense. Because breathing well will help you live better.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Absolute Comfort, your American Standard air dealer serving Central Indiana.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Is this anything? A 62-year-old Florida man is facing DUI charges for operating an excavator at a scrapyard while under the influence.
Wow.
Here's John being arrested by the police.
Do me a favor, turn around.
Can I go shut the machine off?
Nope. You're going to stay right here. Keep your hands together like you're praying, okay? Just like that, all right, John?
What are you charging me with?
So you were in direct, immediate control of a vehicle when we pulled up here. You looked like you were falling asleep. Based off of our observations, everything like that, you're being placed under arrest for DUI today, okay?
Steve!
We'll explain it to Steve.
They're taking me to jail.
Good Lord.
Dave! And then in the background you hear, yeah, they're taking me to jail. So this is John operating an excavator under the influence. Nothing wrong with trying to get a little overtime in the scrapyard. Probably shouldn't have had the buzz. Impressive that you could operate that type of machinery working under the influence. I love how he's shouting at it. Can we play the end there where he's shouting at his buddy? Dave! And then you hear, yeah.
Based off of our observations, everything like that, you're being placed under arrest for DUI today, okay? We'll explain it to Steve.
They're taking me to jail.
They're taking me to jail.
That sounded like Tariq Hill getting arrested. Hey, man, they're taking me to jail. They're taking me to jail.
Libertarian Dragon on the YouTube chat. That's called drunk junking.
There's a name for that? Drunk junking. Operating an excavator at a scrap yard while under the influence.
All right, Allison, I'm going to need that very end one more time here because
I want to hear it.
AK6 on the YouTube chat says, it sounds like Joe Hogsett at meetings. Now, close your eyes, visualize a meeting in a boardroom with Joe Hogsett.
DUI today, okay? We'll explain it to Steve.
They're taking me to jail.
They're taking me to rehab, allegedly. Is this anything? Miley Cyrus is being sued for ripping off Bruno Mars' When I Was Your Man, one of his big hits, on her popular hit Flowers. The lawsuit was brought on by Tempo Music Productions, not Bruno Mars himself. We don't even know if Bruno supports this lawsuit, but here's a little mashup of both songs.
Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. We were good, we were cold, kind of dream that can't be so.
Wow.
We were right till we weren't. Built a home and watched it burn. I didn't want to leave you, I didn't want to lie. Started to cry, but then remembered I'm too young, too dumb to realize.
Wow. You know, that's certain. Turn it up. I guess I would have to hear each song. I mean, that's a mashup, but that was very similar when you do the mashup. Maybe I'd have to, again, hear them individually to make a solid decision there.
So the thing is, Miley didn't try to hide that, though. The reason of that song, if I remember this correctly, she and her ex, some actor guy, that Bruno Mars song was like their song. So when they had this nasty breakup, she did like a parody of it and called it Flowers.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think it was like a big
sued.
secret.
Well, now she has to go to court.
But the thing is, if Bruno Mars doesn't support it, like,
it might not be his song. It's the Tempo Music Productions probably maybe owns the rights to that song. I don't know.
Bruno's got his own problems right now. He's in such gambling debt out in Las Vegas.
Right.
He's playing these shows for free at the hotel because he's so in debt. He needs to listen to the Degenerates Next Door podcast, and we'll take care of him. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Did you know the Social Security Trust Fund is expected to run out of money in less than 10 years? And according to Barron's, an average income couple could lose up to $16,500 every year in Social Security income. Multiply that by 10 or 20 years, and it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's why it's so critical you have the right strategy to file for Social Security.
Discover how you could get every nickel that's rightfully yours with a free, that's the key word, free custom Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy. Bill Demery is my retirement guy. He's Nigel's retirement guy. He should be yours. So if you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Does your job require you to be on your feet all day? Teachers, postal carriers, salespeople, and restaurant staff. Many of us need our feet to get through the day. Hi, it's Phoebe with the Good Feet Store, and I'd like you to hear from Donna. She's a nurse and a real Good Feet Store customer who wanted to share her story.
Oh, I have to tell you, I have struggled with pain in my feet. I was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis. With the 3-step program, it really fits to your lifestyle. I work in a hospital. I'm a registered nurse, so being on my feet, walking throughout the hospital during the day, I am free from any type of pain. And after working a 12-hour shift, I go home and my feet do not hurt.
Whether you're a nurse like Donna or anyone wanting to enjoy work without your feet getting in the way, come see us at the Good Feet Store. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood, just off the 65. Learn more at goodfeet.com. Good Feet Arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book an appointment for your free personalized fitting at goodfeet.com or just stop in. Walk-ins are welcome. Helping people live pain-free, 2 feet at a time.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
A shooting on the north side. Skies are mostly clear. It's 85 outside. No rain on your radar either. Low of 59 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. Gunshots and 4 people hurt on the north side of Indy around 1:15 this morning. That's when IMPD was called to Capitol Avenue, not far from the Children's Museum and Crown Hill Cemetery. IMPD Captain John Arvin says when they showed up, they found a man and a woman shot.
Yes, they were together at the same time when they were shot, but they didn't describe any vehicles or any people in the area.
Later, another car showed up to the scene. 2 other people inside that car had been shot, also a man and a woman. All 4 are expected to be okay. Police are investigating the shootings as separate incidents, and they're also looking for suspects. House Speaker Mike Johnson, a Republican, says the president and vice president have only hurt the economy the last 4 years.
The Biden-Harris economy has not done well for America. That is the understatement of the century. And everybody works more and they get paid less. This is not a sustainable trajectory, and we can do better.
Speaker Johnson speaking at the America First Policy Institute in D.C. today. He claims that Republican governments would improve things. President Joe Biden will be in New York soon for the United Nations General Assembly.
In addition to addressing the General Assembly on Tuesday, the president will meet with world leaders to discuss cooperation in tackling threats to international peace and security, advancing global prosperity, and protecting human rights.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. The U.S. is still working on a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. It's expected to be one of the things they talk about. Without tax breaks for large corporations, Indiana would struggle to bring in new businesses. That's according to a report from the Indiana Chamber.
We're competitive. It's just how do we find ways to get a competitive advantage over these states that we compete with for business and capital investment.
David Ober from the Chamber told Indy Politics that higher property taxes are a challenge for manufacturing and life sciences, but Indiana's overall tax burden does remain below the national average. And a mixed day on the market. The Dow dropped by 15 points, closing at 41,606. The NASDAQ was up by 35, finishing at 17,628. The S&P 500 also up by just a point. 5,634 is where that closed. Traffic and weather in 1 minute. It's 4:33.
At Shane Company, we'll help you design an engagement ring as unique as your love story. We have the widest selection of diamonds and gemstones for you to choose from, and you can compare them side by side right here in our store. Only at Shane Company can you sift through exquisite diamonds, rubies, and a rainbow of sapphires in a variety of shapes and sizes. We'll help you create your dream engagement ring no matter your price range. Choose the ring setting that speaks to your style, from classic to modern to vintage. We offer so many ways to personalize your ring. Pick your favorite center stone, add a decorative crown and a custom engraving, or select a perfectly preset ring that's ready to go. At Shane Company, our jewelers know how much your ring means to you. They hand-set each center stone with precision and pride in our jeweler's workshop, so you can feel confident knowing your ring is crafted with the greatest care and comes with an unmatched free lifetime warranty that lets you know we'll always be here for you. Your love story deserves to shine bright. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
With traffic at 4:34, how are the roads, Matt Bear?
Harrison, on the west side, we're jammed. Southbound 465 West 71st Street to Crawfordsville Road. That's a construction zone until early tomorrow morning. Southbound 65, the stall cleared. Traffic did not. Southbound 65 is stopped from the White River to the north split. Westbound 70 jammed up as well from Emerson Avenue into the north split because of an earlier traffic hazard that has cleared. 18 minutes to travel from Emerson to the split, and the slowdown continues down to Fletcher Avenue on southbound 65-70. Eastbound 70 slow roll off Tibbs into Meridian, Illinois, and south side eastbound 465 stop and go traffic from I-70 to the White River. This is a crash. Tibbs Avenue at 12th Street, backing up especially the northbound lanes of Tibbs Avenue in that area. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. There's still time to get a patio this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. No subcontractors ever big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly clear skies once again for tonight. Our low temperatures in the lower 60s. Mostly sunny for tomorrow. High temperatures in the upper 80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Yeah, I like this out of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis, he signed an order for Florida to file attempted murder charges against Trump's assassination suspect instead of the federal government. And I like it because we don't really even know anything about this other guy a couple of months ago, Thomas Matthew Crooks. Precious little anything that went on and the behind the scenes. So I think DeSantis, he wants to do this himself on a state level to keep this out in front of the news because the initial assassination attempt has all but disappeared. Now, he's going to have a tough time doing it.
Right.
I think.
But the policy that is set in place that he's banking on was set up by Merrick Garland, the Attorney General. So it's one of those deals where at the time, Merrick Garland thought this was something just to get stuff off the hands of the feds. But now when they really want to shape a story or shape the narrative based on his ruling, it looks like Florida will have the opportunity to be the ones that move forward with filing attempted murder charges. Here's Ron DeSantis earlier today.
The federal government does not have jurisdiction to bring an attempted murder charge. They don't have jurisdiction over a case that's not a federal official or is a apparent winner of a presidential election or the formally declared president-elect. So right then and there, we have the ability to pursue potentially life in prison under state law. That's a huge reason why we should move forward at the state level than that. And yes, I do think that there's a lot of concern about how these agencies have operated. And the state of Florida, I mean, you know, for us, all weird shit is the truth.
That surprises me. That an assassination attempt on a former president is not, in terms of jurisdiction, it's not a federal crime. It's got to be a federal crime. But he's saying Florida has jurisdiction over the Department of Justice on this?
It happened in their state. And
wow.
Technically, because of the titles, I guess, that are involved here with Donald Trump. Yeah. And this was all based on a ruling that Merrick Garland had previously passed. So we'll see what happens with that. Interesting post from Representative Jim Banks, a friend of this program, calls in from time to time. He put on his social media that his office just obtained footage of U.S. troops under fire in the Middle East, and that these attacks have occurred within the last couple of weeks and months, and it's not being reported on. Now, if you remember, Kamala Harris in that debate,
that's right,
with that smug, bleep-eating grin on her face, said that there were no U.S. servicemen or women in wartime areas right now.
So how do you square that, Hammer?
It's almost as if Kamala Harris is full of crap. So take that for what you will. And I think my favorite part about that whole lie that, by the way, ABC just went along with and didn't push back on.
Several times over.
There were videos popping up on Instagram and TikTok of servicemen and women overseas in some of these dangerous areas watching the presidential debate. And when Kamala Harris said that, they turned the camera back on themselves going,
shrugging their shoulders.
Well, where the hell are we at right now? And again, no pushback whatsoever from ABC.
You think it's a mistake for Donald Trump not to do another debate?
I think he should. Because Donald Trump is good at it when he fights back. Now, you have to have the mindset going in, it's going to be me against the world. I think Donald Trump made a mistake by not fighting back against the ABC moderators. I think he could have won over some people who saw him getting a raw deal. The reason Donald Trump resonates with so many people, the reason I think people who don't normally vote for Donald Trump is that he fights back. He represents you. For so long, the Republican candidate just was a squish, just bend over and take it, right? But Donald Trump was this counterpuncher. And even though he's not completely conservative, he's somebody that actually gives it back to the media.
Fair enough.
I just wanted him to look at David Muir and Lindsey Davis in that ABC debate. The minute Kamala starts talking about Project 2025 or the Charlottesville hoax or any of that crap that she clearly is making
Wants
up.
to ban abortion on a federal level.
Right.
All made up hoaxes.
I wanted to see Donald Trump look at those two moderators and go, look, if you're going to fact check me tonight, that's fine. I'm a big boy. I can handle myself. I can answer your questions. But don't you dare just let her off the hook.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable that you're going to sit there like goons and just let her spew lie after lie. I wanted a little of that. We did not get any of it. So I think he should do one. Like, Fox wants to do it. And I know Donald Trump's got a little issue with some of the moderators at Fox, but listen, this is about as good as it's going to get.
I was going to say, if he could do it at CNN and ABC, surely he could do it at Fox. I think Kamala Harris in her campaign getting a little cocky there after what they called a successful debate that, both sides say they won. I don't know. I don't know if another debate's going to change anybody's mind at this point, Hammer.
You're true. That's very true.
I don't know at this point. The independents are going to do what they want to do, and I think Taylor Swift's not going to change anybody else's mind unless you're a 14-year-old little girl.
Who can't vote anyway. Right. Correction, who should not be able to vote anyway. Yeah, I don't know. And it is interesting, though, that Kamala's camp, even after that one, they wanted another one so quickly. Well, what do their numbers show internally to where they want to have another one? I don't know. Just a thought. So yesterday, we played you...
It means they're closer than they think they are internally. It
Exactly.
means the numbers between her and Trump are much, much closer in terms of polling, internal polling, than they are out in public. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
So yesterday, we played you a clip from one of my favorite YouTube channels, There I Ruined It.
Yeah.
I'll reset this here. This is something they put together. This is what Imagine Dragons music sounds like to people who hate Imagine Dragons.
First things first, first things second, first, second, third things third. Last things first, second things last, first, last, second things third. I was broken from a young age, shaking my soul into the masses, riding my bones.
Okay, you get the idea, right?
I get it.
So we have a new one today. Courtesy of the fine folks at There I Ruined It.
Not another one.
This is a little something for an older generation, or maybe if you're just a classic rock aficionado. Well, classic rock's probably wrong. I'd say folk. This is what Bob Dylan music sounds like to people who hate Bob Dylan.
Once upon a time at the 5 and dime, there was a porcupine under my behind. It felt good.
Felt good.
Blowing in the wind with the bobby pin at the drive-in, time to gonna zip it down.
What?
Morning wood.
Morning wood.
That was a metaphor. Something about you kinda gotta have to stop the war. But now the cats bark and the dogs go moo. And the man in the White House goes cock-a-doodle-doo. And I'm just blowing this harmonica to make it squeal.
Here we go.
How does it feel?
So that's what every Bob Dylan song sounds like to people who don't like Bob Dylan.
Pretty much, especially with that harmonica.
So of the two that we just brought to the table, yesterday and today, where do they rank with some of our favorites?
Okay.
This is what Pearl Jam sounds like to people who don't like Pearl Jam.
See a little gonna make me down my face looking through the paper, though, and I something that has never shown down, man. It's concrete. Oh, feeling. Maybe he'll see a little now to something that's never shown his sense of why the hell between all the better Saturdays.
Here is what the Red Hot Chili Peppers sound like to those who don't like the Chili Peppers.
Come to a leaper with the peppermint bait, the chalupas in the refrigerator. Doorknob, California, buttermilk pancakes in my eyes. Stepped on a toe, broken Navajo code. Now it's time to iterate California. I got a thumbtack on my nutsack. Pies 3.1415. Hey, oh, I don't know what I said, no.
Okay. And last but not least, this is what bro country, like modern, young bro country, sounds like to people who don't like it.
Truck, jeans, beer, girl, creek, boots, truck, tan legs, train, dog, beer, Dixie cup. Got a beer in my beer and a Chevy in my truck. Got a dog at the wheel, cut off jeans, truck. Dirt road, bike road, beer, moonlight, red, white, and blue, girl, Friday night.
Got a beer in my beer and a Chevy in my truck, beer in my hand, and the dog's at the wheel.
I think Pearl Jam's still my favorite.
Allison, pick one. Which one resonates with you?
Gosh, the Imagine Dragons just gets stuck in my head at this point. I love it.
And somebody said on Twitter that the Dylan song, they improved it, actually. They didn't ruin it. They actually improved it.
I think they may be right. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Fall in Indy, and if you hate the paint, do what Judy did. She called Rhino Shield.
After having the house painted with kind of usual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating specifically formulated for our unique climate.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the exact right color because I was very particular.
Now get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield is partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer no payments until 2026 for qualified buyers.
I would not hesitate to call Rhino Shield and recommend Rhino Shield to my friends and neighbors and family.
Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Truck drivers, it's time to drive for a company that values your time. At Midwest Logistics Systems, you'll get home every day and have a predictable Monday through Friday schedule with occasional Saturdays. Plus, you'll enjoy the convenience of driving out and back routes and hauling no-touch, mostly drop-and-hook freight. MLS drivers also earn performance and safety bonuses and have access to a comprehensive benefits package. Explore our selection of local dedicated driving jobs and apply today at MidwestLogisticsSystems.com.
Are you concerned about rising gasoline taxes? I'm Donald Rainwater, Libertarian candidate for governor. Hoosiers currently pay sales tax and excise tax on gasoline to the state. No one should pay two taxes for gasoline. So my plan is to abolish the gasoline excise tax in Indiana. To learn more about my plan to make Indiana government less taxing, go to rainwaterforindiana.com. My name is Donald Rainwater, and I approve this message. Paid for by Rainwater for Indiana.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
Your Indiana adventure is near. Come to Grant County this year.
Ready for some high-energy excitement and fun? Head to Jonesboro, Indiana, September 26th through 29th for the Jonesboro River Run. Amazing stunt bike riders, a cool bike show, fun field events, cool light show, and rockin' live bands all weekend long. Get details at showmegrantcounty.com. Grant County, Indiana. Classic cool.
Indiana adventure is near. Come to Grant County this year.
At the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's, walking means so much more. It means fighting for a different future, for families facing the disease today, for treatments. Because when you take part in Walk to End Alzheimer's, you're not just walking, you're fighting to stop the disease. We're closer than ever, but to get there, we need you. Join us for the world's largest fundraiser to fight the disease. Register today at alz.org/walk.
Chris Wedekin here, owner of Absolute Comfort. Our guys' experience brings us to a higher level than most other companies.
Absolute Comfort is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Nobody likes a cold shower. LD Smith has hot deals on water heaters. Save up to $300 on a new water heater install.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show at Grand Park.
Featuring over 200 home improvement exhibitors.
September 20th through 22nd.
Tickets are only $7 at suburbanindieshows.com.
Head to the WIBC contest page and enter for your chance to win 2 tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra's brand new show on Thursday, December 19th at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. And while supplies last, you can purchase tickets for just $49.99 plus fees.
Matt Bear, good to have you back, my friend. What's going on?
Great to be here, Hammer. We do have a crash eastbound 70 at Indianapolis International Airport. It's on the exit to 465, like in that collector ramp. Right now, the right lane is blocked and traffic is backed up for about a half a mile because it is on that collector ramp. Through traffic to downtown South Split should be mostly unaffected here. Looking out the west side, southbound 465 is jammed. West 71st to Crawfordsville Road. It's a construction zone until early tomorrow morning. East side, southbound 465 stop and go. East 56th Street to Brookville Road. Northbound lane stop and go from 70 up to East 71st Street. Inbound 70 stop and go traffic Emerson into the North Split, and inbound 65 a grind from MLK to the North Split. Traffic sponsored by Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show. The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show at Grand Park, featuring over 200 exhibitors, September 20th through the 22nd. Tickets are only $7 at suburbanindieshows.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We need 18 more people to like the YouTube feed so we can get to 100. If we don't get to 100, Nick from the digital department is going to come in here and just put MSNBC on loop for the next 24 hours. So please don't allow that to happen. Please like the YouTube feed of the Hammer and Nigel show. Right now it's 86 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Well, we're coming.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel show.
It is on like Donkey Kong this Friday. We're taking this show on the road up to Grand Park, the Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show, Nige.
Better have a beer garden there. Beer Sample Friday, live out on the road there in Westfield.
$7 if you buy your tickets online right now. That's cheaper than the day of. I believe parking is free.
Cool.
But if you want to save on admission, get your tickets now. All types of games, game shows. There's like a game show zone, prizes, exhibits, experts. And then Nigel and I are going to have as many beers as possible while finding out how long we can successfully host a news talk radio program. So please join us this Friday up at Grand Park. And as a matter of fact, caller number 9 right now, we'll give you a family 4-pack. Bring the kids up to watch us get hammered. This Friday, the Fall Home and Outdoor Living Showcase at Grand Park, 239-9393. That's the number, 239-9393. It doesn't have to be this Friday. You use the tickets. But come on, we're hooking you up, right?
Come on.
The least you can do is come hang out with us on Friday and create a bit of a ruckus. Let's create a ruckus, Nige.
Let's be able to describe the ruckus.
That too. 239-9393, caller number 9. All right, we've got some new polling about some key Indiana races from a national outlet. We'll talk about that when we come back. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, my wife and I are longtime Diamonds Direct customers, and if you're thinking about a fall engagement, maybe an anniversary coming up, now is the time to act because interest rates are skyrocketing everywhere else, but not at Diamonds Direct. This month only, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever, with 0% interest for 5 years on any Diamonds Direct purchase.
And now through October 1st at Diamonds Direct, you can get their incredible value price and spread your payments over 5 years with an unheard of interest rate of 0.0. The Blutarski, 0.0. Nothing's held back. Engagement rings, pendants, bracelets, you name it, it's there. But you have to hustle. This offer ends September 30th. Get more information at diamondsdirect.com or stop by that beautiful showroom at Keystone at the Crossing. Diamonds Direct. Tom Hammer and Nigel sent you.
After college, Mike Braun could have gone anywhere. He chose to move back to his hometown of Jasper, Indiana. There, he started a small business, kept his head down, worked hard, and turned his small business into a national company, employing thousands of Hoosiers. He'll use that same determination for us. Lead the charge on lowering the price of gas, groceries, energy. Take on the big healthcare companies to increase healthcare access and lower costs. And Mike will improve education across our state by increasing school choice. Mike will make our streets safer, back the blue, and stop illegal immigration if the federal government won't. Because Braun believes every Hoosier should be safe and secure in their community. As governor, Braun will continue working for Hoosiers. Because when you're Mike, working hard is just what you do. Mike Braun, governor. Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Rob. Right now, schedule your free in-home estimate. For every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years. Restrictions apply. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Ugh, I've been feeling so sluggish. I'm just kind of blah.
Been there. That's why I take Align yogurt-coated probiotic fruit bites.
But I suppose they taste blah.
Actually, they taste delicious. It's an apple blueberry flavored center covered in a yogurt coating and is infused with probiotics to help support a healthy gut. They come 5 in a pouch. I just toss one in my bag and go.
Toss one in my bag?
Get your own.
New Align yogurt-coated probiotic fruit bites from the makers of the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Find them in the digestive care aisle.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hey, this is Malia. We often get asked when is the best time to buy, and the answer is today, not tomorrow. With rising utility costs, rising product costs, and missed opportunity costs, which you could be saving with a high-efficiency system. Give us a call today to schedule your free in-depth estimate, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
Coming up in 2 minutes, John Herrick reports on a shooting near the Children's Museum this morning. A woman looking for help with depression says she was mistreated. And why now's a good time to update any of your voter registration info if you need to. That's all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert. Bail denied for Diddy and Lisa Brady. A federal judge just ruling that rapper Sean Diddy Combs must remain in custody after he pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking and racketeering charges centered in part around events known as freak-offs that were often recorded.
Investigators say that he abused women, not just physically, but emotionally and sexually for more than 10 years and got away with it because the people all around him hid things. But the prosecutors here in New York City say more charges could be coming.
Fox's Alexis McAdams. Combs' attorney Mark Gifnov said he's innocent and will clear his name.
He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime.
Agnifilo suggesting the charges stem from a former girlfriend's civil lawsuit and also says they will appeal the bail decision. Exploding pagers in Lebanon are now reportedly blamed for at least 11 deaths. The Biden administration denying any knowledge about what happened.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre would not speculate from the briefing room about hundreds of pagers exploding in Lebanon, injuring thousands.
If you're asking me if the U.S. was involved, no, the U.S. was not involved. If you're asking me if we were aware of the operation, we were not aware of this incident.
The explosions appeared to target members of Hezbollah, a Lebanon-based terror group engaged in cross-border attacks with Israel. U.S. officials are trying to calm tensions along the Israeli-Lebanon border to avoid a wider conflict in the Middle East.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Hezbollah says it holds Israel accountable. There's been no claim of responsibility. Vice President Kamala Harris says she spoke with former President Trump today after an apparent second assassination attempt.
I am in this election and in this race for many reasons, including to fight for our democracy. And in a democracy, there is no place for political violence.
She was interviewed at a gathering of black journalists today. Trump has a town hall event tonight in Michigan. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Where they were shot. Sunny skies, 88 degrees downtown. No rain in sight on your radar. 59, that's about where your low is going to be tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox for the Michelis Corporation. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Gunshots and 4 people hurt. John Herrick reports on what happened this morning in the north side.
It was around 1:15 that IMPD was called to Capitol Avenue, not far from the Children's Museum of Indianapolis and Crown Hill Cemetery. IMPD Captain John Arvin says when they arrived, they found a man and woman with gunshot wounds.
Yes, they were together at the same time when they were shot, but they didn't describe any vehicles or any people in the area.
Then later, another car drove up to the scene with 2 other gunshot victims in it. Those were also both a man and a woman. All 4 of these people are supposed to survive, but police are investigating them as separate incidents, and they're searching for suspects. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Paige DeForm says she went to Options Behavioral Health in Indianapolis in March of this year to be treated for depression and anxiety. She says they turned what she thought would be a brief stay into a much longer one.
You know, I arrived on Monday night. On Wednesday, in the morning, I was informed that I would be released the following day. And then that afternoon, I met with another staff member who said, well, you know, I don't know why they told you that. You know, they don't know what they're talking about. You're not going home until Saturday.
DeFore claims they exhausted her pre-approved insurance and attempted to get more money while never treating her. The parent company, Acadia Healthcare, is being sued by patients in several other states as well. Without tax breaks for large corporations, Indiana would struggle to bring in new business. That's all according to a report from the Indiana Chamber.
We're competitive. It's just how do we find ways to get a competitive advantage over these states that we compete with for business and capital investment.
David Ober from the Chamber told Indy Politics that higher property taxes are a challenge for manufacturing and life sciences, but Indiana's overall tax burden remains below the national average. $3.06, that's your average price that you're paying today for a gallon of regular gasoline in Indiana today, says GasBuddy.com. It's below the national average, which is about 10 cents more expensive. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Pat Sullivan here for Michelis. They're a locally owned and operated family business serving central Indiana for over 39 years. I'm here with Richard Michelis, who has helped many homeowners with foundation, basement, and crawl space issues.
That's right. If you notice cracks or bowing in your basement walls or detect moisture in the basement or crawl space, it might indicate a serious issue, but it could be a simpler fix than you think.
When you spot a problem, it won't magically improve on its own. It will only get worse over time. Take action now to prevent bigger issues down the road.
That's correct. Contact Michelis for a free inspection so you can have peace of mind. Our foundation and crawl space work has a lifetime warranty. We offer 0% down financing on foundation, basement, and crawl space repairs. You see our work before we see your money.
Foundations, basements, or crawl spaces, life happens, and Michelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY. That's 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michelis.
With traffic in the 5s at 5:05, what's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, I'm looking at the east side and southbound 465. Full closure, southbound 465 shut down between Washington Street and Brookville Road because of a crash. Traffic is stopped back to Penn Pike and then slowed to East 56th Street. Bail out at I-70 Penn Pike. Anywhere, just don't continue into this delay. Again, southbound 465 on the east side closed between Washington and Brookville Road. Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic into 2 downtown from Tibbs Avenue to the South Split. Inbound 65 stop and go MLK to Meridian Penn. West side southbound 465 jammed up after 71st to Crawfordsville Road because of construction that should be done tomorrow morning. And a crash by Indianapolis International Airport. It's eastbound 70 in the 465 collector, right lane blocked, jamming up traffic for about a mile on that collector ramp. Traffic sponsored by Indeed.com. You don't need a job site, you need a hiring platform. Indeed lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly clear skies once again for tonight. Our low temperatures in the lower 60s. Mostly sunny for tomorrow. High temperatures in the upper 80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So it's only a few days ago, Hammer, I felt like a lot of the local Democrats here running for office, whether it was Destiny Wells or McCormick for governor. Wells is, what is she doing?
The Attorney General.
Attorney General. I felt like they were retweeting some of these polling numbers that said the numbers were close here for those races.
It was Democrat polling. It was like internal polling. So imagine believing someone when they say, hey, the Democrats say the Democrats are in this thing. It'd be like if you asked everybody on death row, are you guilty or innocent? We're innocent. Did you hear that? There's a lot of people who are innocent.
It's like that scene in Something About Mary where everybody got caught at the highway rest stop. I was just peeing. Yeah. I'm sure you were all peeing. I see. I say, okay, I get it now.
Like when you ask the people who have skin in the game what's going on, you're going to get a biased answer. Like Channel 13, we asked Camp Atterbury, are these Afghan refugees pooping all over the place? Nope. Good enough for us. Sounds good.
All of a sudden, a year later, they're getting a check for millions of dollars of the federal government from all the damage that was done.
Right. So this new poll from a national outlet, okay, this was Emerson College, polling done September 12th to the 13th, plus minus margin of error is 3%. They polled 1,000 likely Indiana voters, And right now, it looks like 45% of those who responded would vote for Mike Braun for governor, compared to 34.3% to McCormick, and Rainwater coming in at 5.8%. Now, there is a kind of large undecided amount here, 13.3%, but boy, that's a large amount difference than what the Democrats told us the polling was just last week.
It just seemed like, I don't have it in front of me, it just seems like they were making it out to be neck and neck.
Right.
And apparently not so.
Same thing with the race for the Attorney General. So according to this poll from Emerson College, Todd Rokita leads Destiny Wells 49.3% to 35.2%. And 15.5% were still undecided, which, again, for these types of local races, that's not all that uncommon. And keep in mind, no one side is getting the bulk of the undecided vote. Like that 15.5% isn't just going to wake up tomorrow and, hot damn, we're Destiny Wells people. It doesn't work that way. Hell, they might not even vote at all. Based on what we've seen in Indiana in the past, they might not vote at all, which is a little problematic. But I just thought that was interesting. The Democrats trying to tell you our numbers show it's neck and neck. An independent outside source says you're full of crap. And is that,
what about these? Did they have some of the numbers on the issues that voters are paying attention to? Forget about the who's getting elected. The McCormick and Braun and Rainwater and the people that are on the ballot. What about the issues? Because that's what's really at stake here.
So if you remember that ridiculous polling that came out like a week or so ago said that abortion was the biggest issue in the state of Indiana. Well, according to the independent polling from Emerson College, that comes in at 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on the list. Economy, jobs, inflation, taxes comes in at number 1, 43.9%. And then there's a big drop off to everything else. Wow. It's all about the Benjamins. It's about how expensive a trip to the grocery store is. It's about your gas taxes. It's about your property taxes. The economy, real wages compared to inflation, 43.9%. Coming in second was education at 9.2%.
But again, these are state issues, right? This is state polling.
Correct.
This is having to do not only with the candidates, but the issues that are at stake here.
Education was second at 9.2%. But again, money came in first at 43.9. Third was housing affordability at 8.1. And then abortion access at 7.8 comes in at number 4. So those are the things that are really rounding up the voters here in Indiana. Despite what the Democrat polling tells you, abortion is not the biggest issue. It's about economy. And this should be a bipartisan issue, right? It should be about how people can save some money at the grocery store, not pay so much in taxes, whether it's on gas or property taxes, anything like that. Because let's be honest, the Indiana-led General Assembly has had a good time taxing the bejesus out of you. And this is why I hope that Mike Braun and Micah Beckwith at least lower some of this. Like if you start with property tax and then maybe in a couple years you move on to gas or you move on to something else. Hell, that's progress. If you give Rod and Todd, the Flanders boys, as Rob calls them, over at the Indiana General Assembly, just one look of your eye, they're going to raise your taxes up. And they're throw their hands up like Doughboy, Ice Cube's character, and Boys in the Hood and say, what are you going to do about it?
Do they have any numbers for Holcomb's performance?
Oh, yeah.
What are voters? These are, again, a poll of 1,000 likely voters in Indiana?
Correct. So when asked about the job performance of Governor Eric Holcomb, the respondent said that 35.4% support what he's done as governor.
Wow.
His approval rating is 35.4. In a dark red state, that's what you get when you've got a kind of liberal governor calling the shots. Now, again, this was something that Holcomb did on his own. Because at first, even kind of going outside the box, allowing gambling, the Sunday sales stuff, traditionally not hardcore conservative values, but he allowed that because he thought that's what the people want.
He rejected the bill that would have stopped boys from playing in women's sports. Now it went back and they the legislature overrode the veto.
Correct. There was
and
that.
Then there was the whole COVID lockdown thing.
The COVID lockdowns and calling people a petri dish when they simply wanted to open up their business.
I never really got. I should probably get over that, but that really never left me.
I mean, that's so insulting. Yeah. And then you're going to have a one-on-one meet and greet with Malik Muhammad, who led this angry mob up to the governor's mansion, had this tense moment on television. He gets a one-on-one, but some guy that just wants to open up his hardware store gets called a petri dish.
Yeah, that's...
Bite me. I mean, you lost me forever with that moment right there. And the fact that so many folks in the General Assembly think that this guy is so great at his job floors me. It just goes to show how many butt sniffers we elect. I mean, let's be honest. Rod and Todd, they have to know this guy's a zero, but you can't tell where Holcomb's backside ends and their nose begins. So I'm hoping if Braun wins this thing with Micah in there, these guys kind of go against the grain when it comes to a lot of that crap. Real quick before we hit a break here, have you guys been following this story about this crazy militant gunman guy in the woods of Kentucky shooting out at I-75? Have you seen this story?
Found that guy yet?
No, he's still on the run.
Oh my gosh.
So law enforcement held a briefing earlier today, and they're focusing their search now on places inside the community more so than the Daniel Boone National Forest, where they thought this guy was hiding out at. Now, here's my problem, Nige. Here in a couple weeks, I'm making a roadie. My youngest son, Jacob, loves agriculture. He wanted to see the fall leaves. He wanted to see the soil and all that stuff of Daniel Boone National Forest in Kentucky.
Oh, man.
And we got a cabin inside Daniel Boone National Forest.
Hope they catch this guy before your vacation.
Like, would I be considered a hero if I shot the guy on vacation? Because if you don't think I'm not taking a little something with me, you'd be wrong. I looked up what Kentucky's gun laws were, and I believe they are an open carry state. So it's just ridiculous, man. This sucks.
Five people shot and survived. At least it's not as bad as the D.C. sniper. Remember that guy and his kid?
Lee Malvo and his asshat son.
Yeah, John Allen Muhammad and Lee Malvo.
Yeah, that's right.
Hid in some sort of sniper's nest in the trunk of their car and killed 10 people in 2002.
That was a wild time. I remember going home, turning on the news, and you'd have another update. And yeah, that was crazy. Now, this guy, he's got military training. So we'll see what happens here. But yeah, it's the one place where I thought, you know what? This is the middle of nowhere. We can decompress. You know, Jacob can look at the soil and study the agriculture. And now there's a damn sniper guy on the loose there. Ridiculous. Kind of goes along with the way that I've been betting ball games lately. Anything that is ridiculous that could happen to me will happen.
Okay.
Missed 27-yard field goals, 2 defensive touchdowns, and a gunman at the Daniel Boone National Forest. The hits keep coming. Matt Bear.
Looking at the east side, southbound 465 has reopened between Washington and Brookville Road. It reopened with 2 left lanes blocked because of a crash, and traffic is jammed back to East 56th Street. Inbound 70 stop and go. Emerson Avenue to the north split. Inbound 65 jam 38 Kessler down to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic from Holt Road into Meridian, Illinois. Crashed by the airport heading towards Indianapolis. It's eastbound 70 on the exit ramp to 465. That right lane is blocked, backing us up for half a mile. South side stall, eastbound 465. Man, that blocks the right shoulder, slowing us to Kentucky Avenue. And on the west side, southbound 465, locked up right now from 71st down to Crawfordsville Road because of construction zone, and that should be done early tomorrow morning. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career path with flexibility and great pay and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Serious question here, because I know there's a reward out for this lunatic. If I go to my cabin at Daniel Boone National Forest and I find this guy dead in the woods, can I pick up his corpse and go get the reward? Does it work that way?
I mean, you found the guy, right?
Right. I don't know if it's dead or alive. I'll have to read up on that. But if I find out he shot himself in the head and he's rotting in the woods, I feel like I should get the money.
I would be at least a portion.
Right. 86 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Are you okay with this? Next.
Some crazy numbers here when having to do with your Social Security Trust Fund. It's expected to run out of money in less than 10 years. That's why it's so critical you have the right strategy for filing for Social Security with Bill Demery.
I love working with Bill Demery because he breaks things down in a way that we can understand, and he's so easy to work with, responds to messages. That's the kind of customer service you get when you work with Bill Demery, your retirement guy. So right now, discover how you could get every last penny, every last nickel that's rightfully yours with a free, and that's the key word, free custom Social Security analysis. Call Bill Demery today. If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, call Bill Demery. Let him help you. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Cindy Carrasco has spent a career holding the powerful accountable. As Indiana's Inspector General and Director of the State Ethics Commission, Cindy fought waste, fraud, and abuse wherever she found it. Cindy also combated wrongdoing in state government, which meant standing up and doing the right thing even if it wasn't popular. Now, as our state senator, Cindy Carrasco continues to fight on behalf of all Hoosiers by improving the quality of our children's education, providing tax relief for everyone, and working to make our communities safe by getting law enforcement the resources they need to fight crime, violence, and keep fentanyl away from our families. It's why Cindy has been endorsed by the Indiana Fraternal Order of Police, State Police Alliance, and the Professional Firefighters of Indiana. Because they know that Cindy has their back, and we know she has ours. Vote for more government transparency, better schools, lower taxes, and safer streets. Vote Cindy Carrasco for State Senate.
Paid for by Cindy for Senate.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-525-9369, 800-525-9369, 800-525-9369.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure of
1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, don't take your eyes off the road, just listen. What you hear right now, your customers hear it too. Get your message heard. Text BUSINESS to 71007 now. Get results with Radio 1.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
It's BOGO time at Zero Res. Buy 2 rooms of carpet cleaning, get 2 rooms for free. 317-388-5141. Online at ZeroResIndy.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Absolute Comfort, your American Standard air dealer serving Central Indiana.
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Hammer Colts tight end Kylan Grayson made headlines.
Granson.
I'm sorry, Granson. Kylan Granson making headlines for deciding to wear the protective Guardian cap over his helmet for extra head protection this season. And in a new Instagram video, he kind of explained what's going on, why he's doing it.
I've never really had a problem with the Guardian caps. They don't really limit vision. They don't add any extra weight that's noticeable. Why would I not add a safety measure onto my helmet? I feel like as a football player who's played most of my life, and it is now my profession, anything I can do to mitigate any sort of brain injury or long-term health effects that would be detrimental to me takes precedent. I also feel like as a professional athlete who plays at the highest level that it's also part of my duty to advocate for my own health and safety and try to encourage others to also make the choice to continue wearing these.
You okay with the Guardian cap?
Yeah, I'm fine with this. Doesn't take away anything from the game. You know, does it look a little weird? It does, but you can get over that, right? The new kickoff looks weird to me, but I'm learning to accept it. So good for him, man. If you want to protect yourself, because players have never been more strong. They've never been, as fast and as violent as they are right now. I mean, the way the training process works for athletes in America, these kids get personal trainers now when they're 9-10 years old, and they play all the sports. They come up and they're machines. So, yeah, if you want to protect your brain so you don't end up sounding like Joe Biden later in life, I'm absolutely fine with this.
Tua, the quarterback for the Dolphins, needs one of those, man.
Yeah.
If he comes back.
If he comes back, which, man, if I'm his family, I get this is his passion, this is his love, but it's not like he's had his bell rang where you shake off the cobwebs, you sit out a little bit. He's had to be carted off the field multiple times due to head injuries. So, yeah, if I'm his family, I'm like, listen, you're a few years away from calling people whose name is Andrea Valvet if you don't stop right now. So, yeah, I'm fine with this. I'm fine with Kylan Granson.
I need to figure out a way to put those things on the inside of the helmet.
Yeah.
It just seems kind of cumbersome to me, but if he's the one that has to wear it and he's saying it's not bad, he doesn't even notice it.
Yeah, and they wear these in practice, especially during training camp.
Yeah.
That was like part of an NFL, mandate. But if you wanted to wear it in a game, you can. Not many people wear it in the game, but he is. I got no issue with it.
Okay, so you know how you're not allowed to walk through any sort of fast food drive-through for safety reasons, like McDonald's. You can't just walk through it. You got to be in a vehicle. So there's this Instagram duo, Heartland Ray. I don't know if these are social media famous people that are on Instagram, whoever they are. They decided to hitchhike in the drive-through lane to get their late-night fast food fix, and they were asking random people if they could jump in their car to order, and it worked, and some guy eventually said yes.
Is this thing on? Hello? I need someone's car for the drive-thru. Sir? Yeah. Can I get in your car to order my food?
No.
Why not?
No. I don't know you from a bar of soap.
Can you please leave this area? I don't have a car.
Go ahead.
In the back? Thank you so much. You're the best guy ever.
Sorry, if you're not going to be in the car, we're not going to take the order.
I'm in the car.
I'm literally looking at you. Your friend is outside of the car, so I'm not going to take the order unless you're in the car.
Julia! A Diet Coke for my new friend. You're my forever McDonald's hero.
Are you okay with any of that hitchhiking to get their food through the McDonald's drive-thru since they can't walk?
If that's what they want to do, that's fine. I've got no issue with it. But I'm willing to bet the amount of people willing to let you into their car compared to the people that will not let you into their car, I bet it depends on what you look like. Because if these are like hot, drunk 20-year-old chicks and they're buxom and they're ready to party, sure, come on in. Let's get some Mexican pizzas. But if it's some big fat hog that looks like Joy Behar and she's thumbing a ride, you roll your windows up and you lock them immediately.
They're relatively young, hot chicks. I don't know who they are. I don't follow them on the gram, as the kids call it.
Is that what the kids call them?
The gram. But like, what you want people coming? Like, the other thing is the example that people take advantage of working and forced into videos. So these people at McDonald's are having to tell these girls, yeah, you can't come in, but now they're on the social media videos.
True.
And it's a little rude.
Allison,
you know what I
would you
mean?
pick up a hitchhiker in the McDonald's drive-thru line?
No.
What if it looked like Zac Efron and he's shirtless and he's ready for some McNuggets?
If Zac Efron doesn't have a car, that's another issue.
Wasn't the question.
That's not the question.
No, I want it.
Okay, Nige.
That's too sketchy.
Let's say there's two people hitchhiking and they want to get some Taco Bell at 2 o'clock in the morning. One of them looks like Kate Upton in an American flag bikini. The other one is a chick that looks like Tony Katz. Does that make a difference in your mind?
I'll hop in. I'll get you a Frosty or a 6-piece chicken McNugget, whatever. Yeah, come on in.
Both of them?
Sure. Why not? I'm a nice guy.
News from the future.
I'm married.
Woman that looks like Tony Katz has killed Nigel.
I'm married anyway. What difference does it make?
Do me a favor and download the latest episode of the Degenerates Next Door college football betting podcast that I do with Rob Kendall. You can download it now wherever you get your podcasts. It's free. We've got a professional on there. He's undefeated at giving picks. Rob's on a bit of a heater. So check it out. If you go to WIBC.com, go to shows, scroll down. You can find it there or anywhere you get your podcast. Download that bad boy and let's make so much money we don't have to hitchhike through the McDonald's drive-thru, the Degenerates Next Door. All right, before we hit the news here, let's do some caller roulette.
Do we have to?
Oh, yeah. 9393. Whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about the Trump assassination attempt, you can. If you want to talk about picking up a hitchhiker in the middle of the fast food drive-through line, you can. If you want to tell me or Nigel how bad we suck or how much you love Allison, that's fine too. Whatever you want, anything goes. Just keep it clean and keep it brief. That's all we ask. Nigel and I are going to take these calls blind. All we're going to ask for is your name, and that's it. 239-9393. Call in now, and we'll take your calls right after the news with Harrison Silcox.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Two different shootings. Mostly sunny, 88 degrees on the circle. All clear when you check the radar. Temperatures tonight drop just below 60. I'm Harrison Silcox for Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 5:32. 4 people were shot at the north side of Indianapolis this morning around 1:15, not far from the Children's Museum. IMPD Captain John Arvin says 2 people were near each other when it happened.
They heard some shots, and all of a sudden they were shot.
And he says another car showed up at the scene with 2 separate gunshot victims in it. They were shot somewhere else nearby. All 4 people that were expected to survive. Police are treating the shootings as separate incidents. In an interview with the National Association of Black Journalists conference in Philly today, Vice President Kamala Harris was asked about her plans for the economy.
As of today, we have created over 16 million new jobs, over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. We have the lowest black unemployment rate in generations.
Harris talking about what her and President Biden have accomplished so far in their time at the White House. It's less than 50 days until Election Day, and today also happens to be National Voter Registration Day. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre.
Since President Biden came into office, he has worked to protect that right by promoting nonpartisan access to voter registration and making voting more accessible for everyone who is eligible.
Jean-Pierre claims the Biden administration is still working on the Freedom to Vote Act. If you're trying to disrupt American energy, you should pay a severe price. That's according to your senior senator. Here's Donnie Burgess.
A proposal put forth by Senate Commerce Committee Republicans demands greater criminal charges for anyone who tries to disrupt American pipelines, and Indiana's Todd Young has signed on to that plan. The Safe and Secure Transportation of American Energy Act would expand criminal charges to anyone who vandalizes a pipeline, whereas current law only applies to someone who completely destroys a pipeline. Young says the bill is necessary to deter what he calls domestic eco-terrorists. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
With traffic at 5:33, here's Matt Bear.
Harrison coming down the north split crash, northbound 65 Meridian Penn, and wow, somebody really tore up the front of their car here. Right lane is blocked and traffic is slow into the north split. By the airport, Indianapolis International, it's eastbound 70 exiting to 465. Crash on that collector ramp blocking the right lane. Just a little bit of a slowdown through there at the moment. On the west side, southbound 465 jammed up before I-65 down to Crawfordsville Road, and right now your delay time is about 37 minutes to make it through that construction zone, which should be done tomorrow morning early. Looking at the east side, southbound 465 between Washington and Brookville Road, it is a crash blocking 2 left lanes, stopping us back to east of 56th Street, and that puts us on a delay of 62 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show. The Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show at Grand Park, featuring over 200 exhibitors, September 20th through the 22nd. Tickets are only $7 at suburbanindyshows.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly clear skies once again for tonight. Our low temperatures in the lower 60s. Mostly sunny for tomorrow. High temperatures in the upper 80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Buckle up. Anything can happen here.
Oh, hell yeah. Let it ride. Let it ride. Yeah.
Hammer and Nigel present Caller Roulette.
Yeah. Responsible radio shows have their producer screen your call out. They find out what you want to talk about. They tell you all the things you need to know. Turn your radio down. Keep it short. We don't do that here on this program.
That ain't us.
That ain't us. We just get your name, okay? And then we just hope and pray you don't say something that can get us fired. So if you're on hold, if you're calling in, please keep it clean, keep it brief. Allison, do we have the dump button ready? Thumbs up. Now, I've always said the first caller right out of the gate is what sets the tone for caller roulette. Let's see what happens here. Larry, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. Larry, what's on your mind?
How you doing, Bama? You're like Greg Garrison. He was the most potty mouth. But anyway, I told you about Kamala Harris, right? Now, she can't stay on stage for over 12 minutes unless she needs to get another blast. She had an interview that was true, that what went on there. And I don't see why Donald Trump didn't tell her, why are you supporting abortion so much, Camilla? You're telling black women, this is according to the CDC, they're 12% of the population. They get 50% of the abortions, and they abort 40% of their babies. How are you going to increase your political power when you're doing that kind of actions in your community? And it seems to me like everybody in the black community willing to go to her rallies, willing to cheerlead for that. I just can't see what it is. But Kamala Harris, she's really funny, and I like your promo that you have with her talking like the one rooster?
Foghorn Leghorn, yeah, the old Looney Tunes character.
Leghorn, she blabbered. You know, I had a version of it, but I don't want to say it right now. But in any case, your show is really funny, and Nigel must be the straight man, but Hammer, man, you come up with the most vulgar stuff on your show, man.
Well, thank you, Larry.
I am indeed a heterosexual, Larry. Thank you. Yes, I'm straight, man. Yes.
And I'm taking a bow as Crazy Larry thinks I'm vulgar.
He dove deep into some of those CDC numbers there, didn't he?
He came with receipts.
I have to do.
Old Crazy Larry came with some facts right there.
Well.
Before we move on, though, in your Donald Trump voice, can I hear Donald Trump yelling at Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris! Battles on and on, Camilla.
She likes to drink, allegedly.
She's everybody's wine mom. She's America's wine mom. Camilla.
Ryan is up next. Ryan, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Thanks. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud.
So first, why is Don not just saying, I'll debate her anytime, like he was saying before? But more importantly, why isn't he talking about her gun? She owns a gun. The more you talk about it, the less far lefties will vote for her. Why is he not talking about that?
Well, Kamala has came out herself and said, I own a firearm, and so does old balls Tim Walz. But yet, at the same time, she speaks out of the other side of her mouth saying, well, maybe we need to pass some legislation
Not
here.
maybe. She said it again today. Ban assault weapons. All assault weapons.
And this
Whatever
is what
that
happens
means.
when you don't have a media that will push back on her. She's going to say everything, and then people like Daniel Muir are going to say, see, I told you she was right. Well, yeah, you're never going to be wrong when you take every single side of an argument. Joe is up next. Joe, rock and roll. What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
To add to that about Kamala having a firearm, I think it's probably a water gun. Because, the way she is. But anyway, what I got is I have something kind of similar to your hitchhiking. The hitchhikers at the drive-thrus.
Oh, yeah.
At a place I used to work, we go to McDonald's for lunch once a week, more than that. But anyway, there was a guy there that always stood at the corner. We called him McDonald Jim. And he held up a sign that just said, I want a Big Mac.
Yeah.
And so everybody, it's like every day you go there, you see him, he just stand there, and he has the same sign. I want a Big Mac. I want a Big Mac.
Did it work?
So finally, I'm guessing it did, because whenever I left for the day, drove past it at the end of the day after work, his backpack was full, and I'm guessing it was full of Big Macs and chicken nuggets and everything like that.
Yeah, all right. Well,
he must have,
begging for Big Macs instead of bucks.
But I'm just wondering, it's like those things don't sit very well after a few days.
I don't know.
You're talking to a couple guys that have had some leftovers
look,
here.
I mean, haven't you seen those things with the McDonald's cheeseburgers that somebody bought a cheeseburger from 94 and it still looks the same back then as it does now, currently?
And if somebody brought it here right now, I'd eat the bejesus out of it.
That would, no, that you might as well fill up all the trash cans for me. Might as well get them all in here for me.
So how is that different than any other day in here?
Lord.
But you know what? Good for that McDonald's guy. He asked for something to eat, and he got it. Unlike the guy that I ran into at the Indy 500 one year with my dad, who said he was starving. I gave him a sandwich, and he threw it back and hit me in the head with it. Brad is up next. Brad, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, guys.
Hey, man.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
All right.
Hope you got that reference.
Yes.
Nigel, welcome back to work.
I'm back.
Hey, so I have been wanting to call you guys about this forever. I've never gotten through. You guys do some funny stuff, but Nigel, please, every week, at least once a week, you have to do Johnny Depp and say exactly what you said. Dude, I can't do it. I've tried. It is hilarious. You got to do it. Please, do you remember what you said?
Allison, I need you to find the Johnny Depp clip. If you go into Meltdown Madness, that folder, Allison, you're going to find Johnny Depp. And the situation is he's in this back and forth argument with Amber Heard.
He's slamming cabinet doors.
He's breaking glasses. He's hammered drunk. And do you have that, Allison? Go ahead and play it.
What happened?
Did something happen to you this morning? I don't think so.
No, that's the thing.
You want to see crazy? I'll give you crazy.
Did something happen to you this morning? And then you see the glass clink. He's pouring a bottle of wine into a wine glass. Oh, you want to see crazy? I'll give you effing crazy. Just starts to chug it. And I swear to God, he still thinks he's Jack Sparrow. He's talking in his Jack Sparrow Pirates of the Caribbean voice. You want to see crazy? I'll give you effing crazy. Dude.
Right, Nige, this is the challenge for you.
Yes.
Bill is the next caller. I want Johnny Depp to throw it to Bill here. Can we do that?
Bill, are you crazy? Do you think you're crazy? What happened to you, Bill? You want to see crazy, Bill? I'll show you effing crazy.
Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, I live up in Clinton County, and kind of listen to you in the barn or out on the tractor. And lately, I have noticed that you guys are just hilarious. But Kendall wants to talk about music and Brownsburg, and I'm really damn tired of it.
Rob Kendall taking some shots around here.
Well, they should fire his ass.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen. Rob's doing really well in that time slot, but listen.
Did you just say they should fire Rob's ass?
That's correct.
Wow. That's harsh.
I mean, I think every show has things that they go back to, right? Like Tony Katz talks about Israel a lot. Rob Kendall talks about Brownsburg a lot.
We talk about beer and boobs a
you
lot.
talk about X103 a lot. So everybody's kind of got their crutch, right? Carl is up next. Carl, good to see you. Go ahead.
Nice to hear you. A few weeks, about a month ago or so, you guys talked about embarrassing times in the bathroom. Well, I never got to call in, but here's mine. I went to Indiana State, and their Honey Creek Mall Sears bathroom resembled Castleton's, and it hit me. All of a sudden, I had to go bad.
I haven't been there, but
and I thought the men's restroom was going to be on the left, and so I pushed in, sat on the toilet, did my business, and all of a sudden, it's like people are coming in, and I'm noticing that they're high heels. And I'm seeing through the crack. There's these big cracks, and I still have to clean up.
Yeah.
3 or 4 women in there now, and I'm going, oh, there is no urinal in this place. I must be in the women's restroom. And so I finally get up, and I have 4 or 5 women crossed arms glaring at me. And I get out of the bathroom, and there's this old man who's like, you really made a mistake, didn't you? And I just kind of laughed it off and in my best German accent said, I couldn't read the bathroom. I thought it was the men's room. So,
you prepared to be.
It was probably deep red by then.
You pretended to be from Germany. That's great.
Like, do the Germans have this long culture of not knowing which bathroom to go into?
The Germans.
I'm not ruling it out. I'm just asking.
Heide slide in the Indian women's restroom. Heide slide.
Heide slide. Oh my God, I haven't heard Heiderscheid in a while. Heiderscheid, blowing up the women's room.
So inside, I love it.
Brian, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, I was just listening to Tony this morning saying he drove all the way to Springfield, and I'm seeing on Facebook Logansport's having it worse. The citizens are getting really fed up, and they're saying that Fox 59 is interviewing the mayor and whatnot. But they're on Facebook and on the chatter and Facebook, they're saying Logansport's worse than Springfield.
I haven't heard anything about Logansport, but good on Tony Katz for taking the road trip to Springfield to see what was actually going there with the Haitian immigrants.
Yeah. And this morning he said that's not the only road trip we're taking. We're going to go to Seymour and maybe Logansport.
Okay.
Now, it'd been better if he would have done it in a Howard Dean-like voice.
We're
going to go to Springfield, then we're going to go to Seymour, then we're going to go to Logansport and see if they're eating the dogs. Yeah! Sharon is up next. Sharon! Welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Sharon!
Wow. You guys are weird.
Yep.
I love Allison, and she has to be an angel to put up with you and Pat Sullivan.
Oh, I appreciate your thoughts and prayers.
and Pat Sullivan.
We just did a dog rant, and Pat Sullivan got lumped up into it. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, well,
Sharon, what's the most weird thing about this show? What's the most weird thing that you can associate us with?
you.
I'm going to need a little bit more on that. What specifically?
Okay, you and him.
Good talk, Sharon. Thank you. And that is how we do Caller Roulette.
Thank you, Sharon.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Back to school season arrives in Indiana. It's time to focus on school supplies and those home projects you've been delaying. Don't worry. With Moss Roofing, you're not alone. They're here to help with your roofing and siding, making sure your home is a safe place for math homework each and every day. Choose Moss Roofing to transform your home's exterior with top-notch James Hardy siding, protecting your home from those Indiana storms and enhancing your curb appeal. Their inspections are always free, and they'll even give you a 3D design link so you can visualize the makeover before they even begin. Talk to Moss Roofing today, a second-generation family business based right here in Central Indiana. For a job done right every single time. I love when they do that. MossRoofing.com, 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you, 747-3665, or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, MossRoofing.com.
Close your eyes and picture it. The warm sun on your face. The sound of waves lapping against the shore. What if I told you that feeling of summer relaxation could be yours all year round? At Howard Bailey Financial, we specialize in retirement planning that lets you embrace that summer state of mind every day. Imagine knowing that your future is secure. With our expert advisors, we'll craft a personalized retirement plan tailored to your dreams. Whether it's traveling the world or pursuing your passions, we'll ensure that your retirement is as carefree and fulfilling as a relaxing summer afternoon. Embrace a summer state of mind and text SUMMER to 888-494-5004 to download our complimentary retirement toolkit and experience your retirement planning with confidence.
This endorsement was not provided by a client of Howard Bailey. This individual was compensated for this endorsement. For more information, visit howardbailey.com/TSY.
Indy, tired of using the fall to paint your house year after year? Then do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
And right now, Indy, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers.
I think it increases the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
When it comes to your well, preventive maintenance is the key to reliable water. Right now, C&J is offering a 6-point annual inspection for only $250, so you will know if your well and water are in great shape for the coming months. C&J will check the flow, the switch, the pump, and the pressure tank, and then they'll check for leaks and bacteria too. If it's been a while since you've checked the well, just do it. You can also save 10% on any necessary repairs. C&J Well Company, they're local, they're exceptional, they're affordable. 317-852-WELL.
Discover wants everyone to feel special. That's why they double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Based on the last 17 years, we feel like American Standard is the best in the market.
That's Chris Wedekin, owner of Absolute Comfort, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
Matt Baer, you talk now.
Yeah, looking at northbound 65 coming out of the north split, crash Meridian Penn, blocking 2 right lanes, stopping traffic through the north split. On the west side, southbound 465 jammed up from I-65 to Crawfordsville Road. That's a delay time of 35 minutes. Now we have a crash on the north side, westbound 465 after Michigan Road, blocking the center lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to ditch. Crash clear on the east side, southbound 465 between Washington and Brookville Road, all lanes open. Traffic jammed up to East 56th Street, front of the line clearing out. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. There is still time to get a patio this season. Get on the books now for a new patio this fall. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, changing the way Indy thinks about concrete. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
86 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Went a little long with caller roulette, but dang it, we were having fun.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. We have got top stories coming up next, including the IMPD fired up about these street takeovers. We'll talk about it next.
High five! Up top! Heck yeah!
Dave's company just got the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah, 5 years!
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
High five for gig speed.
5 years of advanced security.
Security win.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Our rate ain't changing.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
There it is.
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Woohoo!
Now he's got savings.
I'm so excited.
Yep.